Hello and welcome back to Fate Grand Order. Lostbelt number 6, Avalon Lefay. I'm Luce, and as you can see, Fairy Britain is not in the best situation it could be right now. Last time we went through an absolute roller coaster of events as we deal with big reveal after big reveal, including where this Lost Belt, what caused this Lost Belt to happen in the first place, how the time loop got started, and why the world is seeing such an apocalypse on this scale. The good news is we finally have the tools to stop it, but we still have a ways to go, so... Interlude time. Merlin sent us back in time after mentioning that, strangely, we seem to be talking to ourselves at some time, which means some of the people we may have been speaking to aren't showing up on his radar. Also, I'm starting to wonder British airspace 2 hours after the demonic dog's appearance. If only he remembered to say that to us before leaving. But I suppose if he had, it would have been too convenient for the plot. That's usually what that means. Although, thinking about Castoria's backstory when she spoke to Merlin, when he spoke about finding someone who isn't actually there. I don't know, maybe I'm just overthinking it, but it sounded more like Oberon than anything, but I probably just like him too much and so he's everywhere. Like that one Spider-Man meme, everywhere I go, I see his face. But at this point in the story, he's already dead. He sacrificed himself to keep Castoria alive from Morgan's surprise attack, so that's a lot. That giant demonic beast I see, so that's the Black Dog's king, a magical energy eater who feasts on smoke and lightning. So Bargus has become a calamity, and Serenos' curse shows no signs of slowing down, and there's nowhere left to run. The way things are going, all fairies are destined to become an unseelie court, return to moors. Either way, there's only a handful of sane fairies left. I don't know how long even I can hold out either. This is truly the great calamity. That's all her fault things turned out this way. Aurora, my love, my reason for existing. Yeah, the implication seems to be that Aurora... Listen to me, Lancelot. Anson is a very dangerous fairy. She always makes such nonsensical prophecies, and no one has a clue about her clan's true nature. Who knows what she might do if she catches everyone's attention and becomes the talk of Britain. Remember, the Merrick clan took in the Fairy of Paradise, just like the Rain clan once did. It's terribly irresponsible for her to make a prophecy like that now, especially when the Great Calamity could happen at any time. Why? It couldn't be more obvious revolt against Queen Morgan. Thinking about makes my wings go dull. You understand me, right, Melisune? After all, you're my prince in shining armor. You always bring me what I desire most, don't you? She doesn't have any wicked thoughts whatsoever. Really, good and evil don't factor into decisions at all. She was heavily implied to be the one who killed Queen Knockanaria. Well, Knockanaria before she became queen. And unfortunately, it seemed to be entirely because she didn't like her. Even Spriggan mentioned he didn't like her and wanted to get rid of her eventually, but at this, even he knew everything was going to fall apart if she were to die before coronation. Most people think of her as the kindest, most compassionate fairy, the one who strives for a world in which fairies and humans can coexist. But they're wrong. That is just the image that she projects. The only one she truly loves is herself. The only thing she cares about is maintaining a world where she's always beloved, a world where she can always be on top. She only advocates for humans, so they will fawn all over her. She only guides fairies, so they will respect her. She seems like a skilled leader because she never fights with anyone. She didn't survive this long because she is strong. She's always just had a gift for dragging other leaders down. Ah, so she is truly a politician. How very human-like of her. Every time a fairy is more popular than her showed up, she would send the world down a dark path according to her whims. This time was no different. She did not mean any harm. She just came to the realization that the Mirror Clan was dangerous and believed it with all of her heart. Ah, huff huff. Ah, so I killed them, just like she wanted. It was clear beyond any doubt the Mirror Clan had actually done nothing wrong, but I still had to kill them or Aurora really would have withered away. As a fairy, Aurora's true skill is to completely convince herself that things always work out in her favor. That's why she's neither good nor evil. The reason why she never lost her radiance over 3,000 years of her life is that her self-esteem is not of this world. I buried my face in hands stained with the Mirror Clan's blood, trying to avert my eyes from what I had just done. I had no right to ask their forgiveness or even apologize. Yeah, seems like, Aurora... Well, I can kind of see why they might classify Aurora as true neutral and that she only cares about her own well-being, but I suppose that's... Well, that's why people always argue over stuff like D&D alignments, because something like her you could reasonably argue as... Well, actually, I usually, when I talk about the Lostbelt with other people, I usually compare it to the Tournament of Power arc in Dragon Ball Super, in that you could reasonably argue it as the main characters as being any alignment because of it. Sure, because we're deleting entire timelines, you could argue that inherently forces us to be evil. One could also argue it's neutral, since well, it's survival instinct. Only one timeline can survive, and we want to defend ours like everyone else is. Or you could even argue it's technically even an act of good, simply because doing anything else, including doing nothing, would automatically force everyone to die and be... They know to die and be forgotten, and that's not acceptable, so... Yeah. One could reasonably argue a different alignment than neutral for Aurora here if they wanted. I knew what kind of person Aurora was, and I still put her ratings first because I care more about her than I do all the fairies of Britain. Ah, but does that include humans? Aurora didn't do anything wrong. I'm the only wicked creature here. I've committed so many crimes, all because I didn't want to lose her love, even though I knew it was never genuine. It wasn't genuine. But that day was special. The Mirror Clan was special. They were a gentle group of fairies protecting Albion's corpse, and by extension me. Not one of them so much as resisted. If anything, they seemed to pity me as they came to offer their own lives. Yeah, the Mirror Clan mentioned they knew that their lives were going to end, so they accepted it long beforehand. I didn't have a choice. Aurora would have withered and died if I hadn't done this. This is my fault. I didn't want to kill them. Aurora, I did this for you. All I want is to return to smile and say thank you. I decided not to fly so that I wouldn't leave any evidence. On the night I returned, I was covered in mud and soaked in blood. I can't believe the entire Mirror Clan city's gone. What could have happened to them? They say it was a Moors attack, but how could Moors have gotten past city walls? Must be Queen Morgan's doing. She must have gotten mad at Ansel's prophecy and... Don't be ridiculous. Queen Morgan is nothing if not prudent. She would never do anything like that. She valued the Mirror Clan's prophecies more than anyone, and Ansel was a wonderful clan leader who only ever wanted what was best for Britain. Ah, poor Ansel, how could this happen to you? Whatever attacked the Mirror Clan is the foulest of beasts, most rotten, hateful monster in all Britain. Even if it may seem pretty on the outside, it only manages by imitating me. Ah, what a horrendous, awful creature. Just thinking about it makes me sick. Ah, so in the end, she didn't even give Melusine what she did that for in the first place, no matter how simple it was. It was a miracle. It really was. Back in the dark bog, when I was just still as a pulsing and glowing flesh, she took me in her arms and cradled me like I was the most important thing in the world. Hello, darling, or perhaps I should say, good morning. My name is Aurora. What is yours? That moment, I gained both a mind and a body. I knew what it was to feel, and to admire. I knew what it was to love someone so deeply it could never be shaken, but, of course, that is just who she is. She is just who she is. I know where she cradled me in her arms back then. I know she doesn't actually love me, but even so, I do still love you, Aurora. That's right, I can maintain this form as long as I have these feelings. Even without Queen Morgan's gifted name, I can remain myself as long as Aurora's around. Sorry about that. Hope I muted the mic in time there. Had a coughing fit out of nowhere. That or I'd probably return to my original form. Who I became when I bore the hatred of the Northern Fairies who were killed in the War of Spring 8,000 years ago. I'm going to go to Salisbury. If Britain really is about to end, I want to spend my final moments as her knight. Kill them, kill the Northern Fairies, or the invaders by the calamities. Fairies who infected the Moors, poison if you want, capture them, kill them like the Moors. Run up humans, make them fight the Moors. Kill any who refuse, example. Cathedral, open the doors. The city's tainted. Lady Aurora will help us. She'll save us. She's the new Queen of Britain. I'm sure she'll sacrifice save us all. Herself to the moors. Oh my, they all look so dreadful now. And to think they used to be such peaceful fairies. Aurora. Who's there? How'd you get in here? Me, Aurora. I came down from the bell tower. The city is in chaos. Most fairies have lost their minds. It's only a matter of time until they storm the cathedral. I hate to say this, but I'm afraid Salisbury is done for. Oh my, I see, of course. I still have you, Milstone. Thank goodness you're right. You are. Oh, but of course you are. You're the strongest in all Britain. You'll never get injured or degrade, no matter what. You're still my beautiful beloved knight, and different from the day I met you. You couldn't come at a better time. I knew you're the only one I could rely on. Yes, you're right. Salisbury's done. How did things ever come to this? It's so terribly sad, but I'm afraid there's no other way, Milstone. Will you stay with me? I need you. Yes, of course. I'd be happy to spend our 5 months together. I need you to help me escape. You can take me away from here, right? What? Is it so surprising? It's a natural response to danger, is it not? Not in this case. You're not bothering to think again. Where would you run to, Aurora? Where could you hope to go after abandoning the world and all the fairies believe in you? Yeah, it's all such a shame, but they won't love me anymore, right? So forget about them. Let's go somewhere more fun, the world outside Britain. Heard of the battle from the Chaldeans, right? I'm sure it must be better than this boring old world. The world is nothing but poor, weak, filthy humans. Makes my ideal world there should be easy, right? You and I will be the only two fairies in it. That's what you want, right? My darling child, my little Melsune, I love you more than anyone right now. Now come, take my hand. Let's start another life together, right? You're right, that's what I want. But if we did that, you'd probably just do the same to that world you've done to this one. And you're telling yourself you're not aware of what you're doing. Your entire purpose is to be loved more than anyone else. Sune, what are you talking about? Where's Coral? I don't see her anywhere. Oh, right, Coral. Turned into a caterpillar because she was getting on my nerves, and then I accidentally stepped on her. Be careful you don't step on the mess over there. You'll track it all over my floor. I guess they were at the point they need to start making all major NPCs exit the story then. Aurora, I want you to know that I love you. I love you whether you believe it or not, whether you care or not. No matter how evil you might be, I'll still make your wishes come true. Oh, that's wonderful. What are you talk? I don't know what you're talking about. But yes, that sounds lovely. Come, let's go to the outside world. We'll have a wonderful time there. I have the feeling Lancelot's, yep. Huh. Did you see? That would never happen. That can't ever happen. You'd never find the love you need in the outside world. That was the only place you could be more beloved than anyone. Proper humanity isn't as simple as Britain. They'd see for how evil you are in an instant. Do you really think you could survive in a world like that? You can't even bear to go. You can't even bear to go without obscenely, absolutely pristine water. Your wings, your face, everything about you would fade and waste away. And that would be more than you could bear. You'd never be able to love yourself again. Or you'd keep deceiving yourself, trying to live the same way you always have, even though you no longer recognize yourself. Every morning, you look in the mirror and die a little more inside. Maybe that's just normal life with our fairies. Maybe they wouldn't think anything of it. But for you, it would be the cruelest torture imaginable. Every day, you'd cry yourself to sleep in despair, unable to even muster the courage in your own life. Every day would be a fresh hell where you cling to glory and forever beyond your reach. Every day, you'd hate yourself more and more. That would just be... What are you saying, Melsune? What an awful fake fairy you are, talking about a future that could never come to pass. Why? The very idea of me becoming more miserable with every day sounds worse than death. Mind that, hurry and take me to the outside world where everyone will love me again. Because you only live to please me, right? That's right. It would have been better if I'd only lived for myself. If I did, then I would happily kept you alive, no matter what. Without you, I'll just go back to being a hunk of flesh. But I can only live to please you, and that's why I can't take you to a place that would be only purely hell for you. Ah. Even now, I still remember when we met. I could see it like it was yesterday. I remember the wind when it blew through the dark bog. I remember the way you shone so brilliantly. Or I swore to give everything I had to protect you. I love you, Aurora. I love you so much. Even if I should lose this form forever, always. Ah. I see. She's returning to her Albion form. Let's see here. And I'm just trying to figure out... Wait, why are we over here again? Oh, that's right. We aren't with the protagonist here. We were only with Melusine and her history there. A prophecy. Atmospheric magical energy density just skyrocketed. Now there's a second high density signal 2. Top it looks like Cyrano's just disappeared from the pit. I mean, that's certainly better than the alternative, but it beggars belief. What's going on here, technical advisor? The increase in atmospherical energy density results from all the fairy bodies being burned. It's no cause for immediate concern, so we can ignore that for now. As for the second high density magical energy signal, we haven't been able to get a visual yet, so we can worry about that later too. As far as the pit goes, well, I'm sorry, I have absolutely no clue. All our data collection pertaining to it just vanished. It's almost like time itself is rewound, but only in close proximity of the pit. Hold on, pick up a space-time tremor. Someone's about to come out. Everyone get down. We're being teleported to the bridge of the ship. We're back. What's the situation? Ah, Master, Carolite, Castoria. How the devil did you just pop in here like that? No, never mind that now. Tell me what happened there. Be as quick as you can. And that's everything that happened over in Avalon. Ceremony Master's gone too, huh? Well, Mash, bring the round shield to the analysis room, please. I'd like to have the sacred sword essence now, while we still have the chance. Okay, right away. Now then, let's make sure we're all on the same page. First off, well done, Master. Thanks to you, we can now know how the British Lostbelt came into being, Sheerness' fate, and the pit's true nature. Merlin gave us a second chance by winding back the events that occurred near the pit. And now we now have us know that a new sacred sword was forged in the planet's inner sea, with Castoria as the custodian. That's given us what we need to put together a plan of attack. Captain, patch me through the professor, would you? I'm here, Holmes. Don't worry about filling me in. I was listening the whole time. I'm aware our observational data regarding the pit disappeared along with the dream, but I trust you still have our navigational records for it, right? I'd like you to calculate how much time we have until Sheerness appears, until the curse begins pouring out of the pit. I suspect we're going to engage in close quarters combat with Sheerness involving servants positioned on the border's deck, so we'll need anti-curse measures in place as well as sturdy physical defenses. We're not going to attack Sheerness with the Stormbar's cannons? Considering his massive size, I would think that would be our best way of going about it. We'll certainly try that as well, but I doubt typical means of physical intervention will do us much good. While I'm sure he has a spirit core just like any other god, it's protected by a thick layer of cursed flesh. Seeing as the curse effectively functions as muscle, we won't be defeating him as much as exorcising him. As such, I suspect the blessed spiritual attacks from Castor and Grimir will be our only effective means of fighting him. Though unfortunately, what we can do to finish the job afterwards remains an open question. Hate to do this to Captain Nemo, but ramming Chernos at full speed may be our only option. Roger that, ship doesn't have much curse-dispelling equipment after all. We just completed calculations of countdown. We have 30 minutes until Chernos appears, and last time he showed up, it took another half hour for the curse to spill out. Hear that, everyone? We only have an hour and a half. Our greatest enemy may be Chernos, but there's another calamity we have to stop before he appears. We cannot let these escape Britain's shores and reach the outside world. To do so would let them become part of proper human history as well. Our first goal, therefore, is to find Barghest, the calamity headed to Norwich from Manchester by way of Oxford, and take her down before Chernos appears. Neither we nor Britain have a moment to spare, which is why I'm beginning the operation immediately. All of you three will figure out a way to defeat Chernos. Captain, you and the Marines will pull out the optimum amount for the operation. Didn't you, Professor? You two will come up with the anti-curse for the storm border. Huh? What was that? Thought I saw something on the monitor just now. Impact on starboard, a single strike just carved through our physical defenses, burning away the armor plating. Interior hallways are exposed open air. Damn it, Marine overboard, one fell. Later, Manure, right now we know what's going on. Where did that thermic ray come from, Da Vinci? Nothing short of a divine construct should even be able to scratch the armor, let alone shred it like what just happened here. There, I found it, putting it on the monitor now. She synchro summoned. That's a metal dragon. Enemy aircraft is cruising at 12,000 kilometers per hour in pickup speed. Oh, it's bounding off the magical energy in the atmosphere. We're at Mach 1, Mach 2. It still hasn't hit top speed. We're dealing with some kind of supersonic fighter. Hang on. How can it flit around at that speed? Crap, enemy aircraft is coming about and is on a collision course. Contact in 10, 9, 8. Pull up maneuver, flanking speed. That thing will tear through the bridge if it hits it straight on. We dodge the last possible second and escape to higher altitude before we can change course. Rah. This damn a close shave. We got off with just a few scratches on the POW. Enemy aircraft's at 10, no 14 kilometers. It just turned around. What do we do, Captain? That's not going to stop until it brings us down. I know, just keep taking us up. We can't outmaneuver it. We'll just have to hope we can fly higher than it can. What is that thing, Da Vinci? You have any data? Sure do. That wasn't a talent strike. It was concentrated mana burst straight from the enemy's mouth. Looks like Barguest wasn't the only thing burning Britain to the ground. Just like the heat from that thing's breath attack is enough to cleave the ground, the acceleration isn't affected by atmospheric pressure or air temperature. And its wings ignore the laws of inertia completely. There's no mistaking it. That thing is Albion, a pluribed dragon, the third calamity. Well, Merlin did warn us that it can have as many calamities as they damn well please. It's Albion, I wonder if that means. Albion's coming at the border. If it lands a breath attack on the stern, we're done for. We already know its breath is strong enough to cut through our physical defense like paper. One strike, stern, and we lose the whole engine. Everyone, sit down, strap in tight. Da Vinci, start tracking time until the next breath. At 2 seconds before impact, it's going to unfurl gravity sails to maximum, pitch scout upward, turning us on our tail. It'll feel like taking a tumble, so the ship's going to shake like crazy. Don't stand up unless you have a death wish. Once we've evaded the breath attack, I'll return in upright position, maintain altitude. Here it comes, we're in firing range. 6, 5, 4, 3. Raise the bow and unfurl the sails, pull up. Did the border just do a loop-to-loop? Made above the clouds. Captain, but damn it, we burned through almost all the magical energy we stored. Now what do we do? There's no way we could dodge another. I say something, I should be able to defend against the thermic ray now. I'll not be able to protect the entire ship, and I can only do it for a few minutes. But if there's one section that's absolutely crucial, like the engine, I can at least put a barrier there. Will that be enough to get us through this? That's most encouraging, Castoria, but before you do that, I have a question for you. The Calamity's only target is the British ferries, so why is that dragon attacking us? Why should it be interested in us at all? I don't know, I'm still learning the ropes myself. Well, it's because we now have a means of saving Britain. Before, the Calamities considered Chaldea just be another pebble on the road, but now Castoria's back and we have a real chance of taking down Chernos, and the Calamities know just as well as we do the Fairies of Paradise is an enemy of Britain. You see, so before we were merely passers-by, but now that we have a weapon, we're involved. That changes matters considerably. That dragon isn't coming after us. It's coming after Castoria, and that means... You're really gonna go there, huh, Holmes? Indeed, we can narrow the enemy's focus simply by sending her on the deck. Huh? If Castoria goes on the deck with her hands up, that will lure Albion towards her. Once it closes in to kill her, we'll draw into close combat. Call it Operation Titanic. What do you think? Did you really have to name it after a ship famous for sinking? I can't believe this. What the heck kind of hero is this guy anyway? I understand, but this is probably our only option. Look, even if I actually agree to this insane decoy scheme, I can't defend the ship at the same time. I can either lure Albion ship or I can protect the ship from breath attacks. Doing both isn't an option. Damn it, just when I thought we had a viable plan. Story knows her limits, not about a willpower conference. It's just she can't do something. It's because she really can't. So we'll just have to drop this plan and... No, you won't. You need a decoy to lure the dragon in, right? Do what you can while you... I'll do that while you protect the ship. First of all, why aren't you in the infirmary? Sorry, you insisted on coming to the bridge. Pretty sure you all... for Percival, but I'm afraid you simply won't work. That calamity's after the Fairy of Paradise. There's no one else who can take Astoria's plan. That's where you're wrong. I can take her place. The Spear of Selection, the same one used by last Fairy of Paradise. I'm an artificial child of prophecy, which makes me the perfect person for this job. Formation restricted, and if it's only 2, that means, yeah, it's gonna be a single... That means it's gonna be a story servant only. The dragon's mind no longer functions like a person's, but that wasn't a problem for it. It was originally made up of whatever happened to be nearby. Things like the Northern Fairy's grudge that had been around for 1,000 years, a clump of dying cells that had fallen off the dragon's remains. There's an extermination engine meant to destroy the land around it, a land made of fairy corpses. No longer had anything in the way of pain, grief, joy, or love. It just was. Commands running through its brain as electrical signals couldn't have been simpler. Objective, stop anyone impeding Britain's collapse. Reason, unknown. Target, flying enemy aircraft. Target, tip of enemy aircraft. Action, eliminate. Action, destroy. The dragon soared across the twilight sky. The wind screaming past its ears. It felt nothing at all. Not a single human impulse ran through its brain. Target acquired. Target acquired. Target. Its visual data wavered. An ache built in its chest, hollow where its heart should be. There was something very familiar about this target standing, I think they mean standing, on the tip of the flying enemy aircraft. Well, with how absurdly long this story is, I can't blame them for messing up a few typos here and there. Dang. Another coughing fit. Let me grab my drink. Good, I can still move. I should be able to manage like this. Hope you're all watching this, everyone. I understand what I have to do. I'll stay put in the bow and let all of you handle the dragon. I'm in no condition to fight anymore anyway, so decoy duty should be perfect. Funny, you don't look so glum. Black is so beautiful somehow, I really don't need to feel bad about this. That said, I do have one last request. Please don't think too badly of Sprit nor the fairies that lived in it. Just as there are good humans and bad humans, there's good fairies and bad fairies. I don't know, man. The fandom absolutely despises Fairy Britain with all their heart and soul. Although I guess that could be more for how they treated Morgan specifically rather than the actual reasons you're supposed to hate them. But who knows? No such thing as bad speech or bad society. There's just good and bad people. I don't know anything about this proper human history of yours, but I do know this. Even though it ended up like this, even though so many sad, tragic things happen here, Fairy Britain's a beautiful kingdom and a wonderful world. Our Britain may be dying, but that's not because it was wrong. It's not because it's a bad world. Things that should persist will. Things that should continue on will do so. That's all I want to say. Please hold your heads high. Our world took over 10,000 years to come this far. It may never be perfected now, but your world still has a future ahead of it. So hope you'll take advantage of that to make it here someday. It takes hundreds, even thousands of years. Hope your world will one day become a utopia where every living thing finds salvation. Definitely a goal worth seeking in the Zen sense. That's what I was going for. I was thinking Ven. What Ven sense? About now might have come across a little arrogant, but I guess it could have been too bad if the Master of Mash smelled at what I had to say. Alright, Percival, let's show everyone why you're a Knight of the Round Table. This will be your last battle, so make sure it's one you're proud of. On that side, this is kind of crazy, isn't it? I can't believe I'm running a flying ship. That's like something out of a story. If all goes well, I'll have to make sure Gareth and the Round Table Army never hear the end of it. Here we go. Enemy dragon incoming, accelerating to maximum speed to match. We only have enough fuel for one shot at this. Master, I want you to take back Castoria Caster up by throwing everything you got at it. Enemy contact in 10 seconds. This will be our first battle against Calamity. Good luck, everyone. Someone have a single target saber. I guess, yeah, Ride Nero is one, but I'd like one at higher NP level. Musashi is one as well, but again, I want a higher NP level if possible. That's a lot, wouldn't be too bad. Cannot use Percival. Alright, so Saber Kosai is gonna be my choice. Tammo no Mai to keep her alive. And I guess, like, yeah, I should probably bring a backup. Another single target Saber would be ideal, I think. That's fine. Well, no, actually, he's quick, so let's go with Trace of Christmas Past. And I guess some Berserker might not be bad. Yeah, that's fine. This shouldn't be too bad, I don't think. We have to finish off all the remaining Fairy Knights. Fairy Knight Tristan's already met her end, so we don't need to worry about her, but we still have to take on the others. First Albion, then Barghest. Calamity of the Flame. Albion. Dragon Corpse of Albion. The Storm Border itself will take damage from enemy attacks, as an endurance gauge will be reduced. If the endurance is 0, you can use Caster's Noble Phantasm to protect from enemy attacks. Activate at the right moment to protect the Storm Border. Alright, got it. Kosai, you know what to do. Increase NP damage here. Yeah, let's get all everyone's NP's levels to max here. Wow, that's one break bar down instantly. Damage, insignificant action, evasion. Ha! The Dragon's Will. Tamamo's NP is gonna have to go first here. Alright, this will give everyone an NP battery, give everyone some healing, and also reduce their cooldowns, most notably. And since this is a boss fight, cooldown reduction is absolutely going to be essential here. Ow. Dragon's Will, what's that doing exactly? Dragon's Will attack based on number of Darn it, that's evade. So I have to waste 3 more evades. Based on the Dragon Will at the end of each turn. Not fun. How am I supposed to do this? Darn it. Let's do it this way, then. I pretty much have to waste this entire turn, but it gets rid of the evasion. I could have equipped a sure hit CE, but I'm lazy and would rather go with damage. Now, what's her overcharge effect on NP again? NP strength. That is not bad whatsoever, if we're completely honest. Alright. 3 blocks, NP charge. Not the highest damage possible, but it should help a lot, I think. Let's go. Alright, let's see if this can nuke the single break bar. It probably won't, but doing what we can. Yep, no overgauge. No, it did. Good. And that means we can heal up everyone. Now, it might NP on break bar, but I'm perfectly fine if that ends up being the case. Damage amplified target enemy object. It's using its NP. Doesn't matter, I protected everyone. It has invulnerability pierce, but Historia protects from that. Here we go. Guess I best protect Castoria best I can. And you know what? Let's do it this way. Just to make sure we have a consistent... Ooh. Alright, let's do it this way, just to get some more MP battery for everyone, and also some healing. Kastori can do a lot of things, but self-sustain she does not do. But Tammo no Mai, she covers that. Storm Border is also now protected too, so that's good. I imagine it's a bit generous in case you accidentally mistime the NP, but... Oh yeah, 220k, that's a gauge by itself. And of course, Tammo no Mai to keep us alive. Cooldown reduced. Here we are. Damage severe, damage severe. Oh, we didn't have to feed the last one? Well, I guess it's only 90k, it's not gonna last very long. Ah, guess it shows the power of Hakosai. She has never let me down, but then again, Santa Karna hasn't either, so there's a lot of choices if I wanted to grail a single target. Plus there's one coming up I'm looking forward to. Dragon's withdrawing, we haven't defeated it yet. Damn it, we can't let it get away, we'll never get another chance. We have to finish off them out, no matter what. Engineer, give us power. I can do that, but the border won't be able to handle it. It'll bend the whole ship out of shape, starting from the hole on the right flank. If our keel starts to warp too, then the whole ship will fall apart. Damn, it's gonna get away if only I'd been more careful. It's okay, Captain. She's not going to get away. We don't have any means left to... Senpai's right, Captain. We don't have to go any faster. She won't be going anywhere. Britain's strongest knight is still standing on our bow. Thought you'd be free once Morgan was defeated. I thought being a Tam Lin was what was chaining you down. That's why I started the Round Table Army. That's right, Oh, silly. You cannot swing a sword with tears in your eyes. Why don't you take a little break, Percival? You're doing a great job. Much better than all those fairies who sit around doing nothing. I'm proud of you, too. I can see why you were the last child to make it through the... What's wrong? You're crying harder. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry to be so sensitive, Percival. Emotions are... There's a lot I do not know about them. Of course, they were your friends, but you were the only one to be chosen. You had to grow strong no matter how hard it was. There's something I can teach you, then. It's okay to feel indebted to your friends. It's okay if you can't find a way to like yourself. One day you'll find something you care about more than yourself. That's how it was for me. So please remember this, Percival. No matter how terrible this world is, as long as you can find just one thing you love, then... I know. I've deceived a lot of people for that. Now it's time I got what I deserve. Hear me, sacred spear, O spear of selection. Pass judgment on mine actions. He sacrifices his lifespan for this, and humans only have about 30 years in this universe. Everything's been lost, but there's still a reason for me to fight. Your idea is love is to steal you, and fate itself will smash it with this lance. Farewell, my love. His lifespan has ended. Humans have no concept of being a baby or elderly in this world. The spear of selection pierced the heart of the dragon's corpse. Its strength utterly spent, it fell to the ground as the knight's body aged far beyond its years and crumbled to dust where he stood. As the dragon fell, it witnessed the knight's final moments. Percival, 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 my brother. A great pain racked the dragon's hollow chest. The wind screamed past its ears like a deep heaving sobs. giant hole. Well, here we are. Well done, my fellow Chaldeans, and you, Castor of Britain. We don't have time to celebrate victory just yet. Technical advisor, status report. Heavy damage to Stormborder's right flank. We used up a ton of fuel during that battle. We need to keep the border up here on standby while we refuel and repair. Fuel shouldn't be an issue since we can use the mana in the atmosphere to produce more. We'll need at least 20 minutes to repair the ship, though. I'd really love 30 so we can do it properly. I see, that long. Alright, figure something out. What about you, Administrative Advisor? How much time have we lost? We spent 20 minutes fighting the fire calamity. It'll take 30 more to get the Stormborder and fighting shape again. Considering we only have an hour and 10 minutes from the curse showing up. Indeed, we won't make it for Cernos' emergence, but we still have 40 minutes until the final catastrophe. More importantly, however, we have a solid chance of defeating him now. That's the issue is the other Calamity Barguest. She and the Black Dogs have burned Oxford to the ground and will soon arrive in Norwich. We simply cannot go after her, both her and Cernos, the Stormborder. If we're going to defeat her, it will have to be with a separate unit. Or we could always just leave her. We got much bigger fish to fry right now. The Pit's calamity will destroy the whole world if we don't stop it, but all the Black Dogs will do is burn cities. The world won't be any danger if we leave them alone. I'm inclined to agree, Grimir. Once Barguest leaves the Norwich behind and sets to the ocean, she'll become a calamity for proper human history. Well. However, she won't be the first fairy named Barguest to appear in British myth. The threat she poses can be dealt with later. We can't and shouldn't prioritize her now. Wait, please, I'd like to request a separate unit be sent her anyway. I understand she's not a top priority. I agree we should focus all resources on Cernos. But so, please, I'm asking you to let me go after her. I can't sit by and let Bargus become an enemy of proper human history. Besides, Norwich is both her and Bogart's hometown. Letting her destroy her own hometown would be tragic. Perlite. A good point, Mash. Even emotions aside, leaving her as a problem for later is probably not ideal. What do you think, Master? Mash is your personal servant. If you believe she can do this, I shall support your decision. We don't know exactly what kind of calamity Bargas has become, but we do know it's one hell of a fight. It'll be one hell of a fight. With that in mind, are you sure you want to do this? I am. Very well then. Holmes, put together a plan of attack. I don't care how reckless it is. Just make sure it doesn't exceed the time we have the board has for the pit. Also, I need Castoria to stay here on the border. You two don't make it back in time, so the best shot against Cernos. Once I thought we'll need Castor, Grimir, and the Sword Border. As long as we have all three, we should be able to take out Cernos. So if you two can't make it back before it's time to go, I won't hesitate to leave you behind. Got it? So if you can't determine you can't complete this mission, just come right back. Keep an eye on the clock either way. This time I will not tolerate disobedience. Get back late, and you can expect a week in solitary. Yes, sir. Good grief, this is going to be quite the complicated operation. Fortunately, I've always preferred complex cases over simpler ones, so I fully respect your decision. In fact, I suspected something like this might happen, so I ensured the Shadow Border was properly prepared while you were down the Spirit Cavern. All you need to do is drive. Mr. Minera, can I count you to escort them once more? Yeah, you bet. I'm used to parachuting in and everything now. I was hoping he'd get chosen. That's settled. The Calamity at Norwich will be handled by two of our most seasoned members, Master and Mash. You two will have 30 minutes to complete the operation. I cannot give you any longer than that. We'll catapult the Shadow Border towards the outskirts of Norwich. Once you've defeated Barguest, return to the rendezvous point with the Shadow Border. From there, Storm Border will retrieve the Shadow Border, crew and all head for the pit. Any objections, Da Vinci? Nope, sounds perfect. I was just hoping for a little time to take care of an errand on my own. I just ran a scan of Britain. I left something really important back in Salisbury. I need to go back to Mike's pub to pick up Tifone and all my records of our journey. It'd be a real shame if we left here without those. Habitrot's there too. You know it. We gave her a really hard job after all. So as soon as we set back the Shadow Border, we'll head back to Salisbury. I'm pretty sure everyone's already gone, but I guess it won't hurt to check. Once we arrive, I'll leave the Storm Border and stand by midair and go pick up Habitrot at the pub myself. After that, we'll fly as close to Norwich as we can for you guys to get back. Alright, now we got a plan. There's no time to waste. Marines, work with the nurse engineer on repairs. Master, you get on the Shadow Border. The Storm Border will keep heading towards Norwich till we're ready to launch you. After ejecting the Shadow Border, we'll turn towards Salisbury and drop off Da Vinci. Got it. Stay safe out there, Da Vinci. Don't worry about me. I know Mike's pub like the back of my hand. See you later, Master. I know you, Mash, are gonna make it back fine, too. Vargas is a saber, so like before, I know plenty of ways to handle her. Here we are. Wait, what? You'll be defeated if Mash is defeated. Oh my. I guess I'll have to be careful then. The curse upon you, a curse upon the Fang clan. One day a beast will appear among you, a great black dog with a humanoid appearance and exceptional strength. Don't be shy, take it and consider it your reward for banishing the king of the Moors. This beast will grow in accordance with the law of the jungle. The weak are meat for the strong to eat. Survival of the fittest in the truest sense. This horrific fairy, the foulest of creatures, will live by eating those they love. Ah. Tears spilling down her cheeks, she tore into her lover's flesh. This one wasn't part of the clan. He was a new fairy from among the forest children. He was kind, good-natured, even stronger than her. They recognized each other's talents in a glance and fell in love at first sight. She truly loved him from the bottom of his heart. She was so sure this time would be different. But her hunger could not be sated. Though she wept in self-loathing, the joy of eating, taste of flesh, the warmth of sliding down, always won out. Her lover's flesh was delicious, precious, and horrific. It tasted all better because her love for him had been genuine. It had been 400 years since her birth. Thanks to her meals mixing love, joy, grief, and torment, her mind had shattered long ago. She thought about taking her own life anytime she lost another lover, but always changed her mind. It would be easy to die, but she knew if she did, all of her dread meals would have meant nothing. Only problem had been Duke foul weather. She only needed him to keep Britain safe. After bringing this outstanding mystic to her own flesh, she fought a calamity herself. She was naturally driven to love those who were strong so she could make the abilities part of herself. That was what survival of the fittest meant to her. Having lived her whole life consuming those she loved, she could no longer die merely because she wanted to. Born naturally strong and raised as the clan's daughter, she knew she had a duty to fulfill and the responsibility she had stolen. As long as people placed trust in the child of calamity, she knew she had to fight for justice more than anyone. That pride was the only thing holding her fractured heart together. But even that had reached its limit. No fairy so horrible could have the right to live. Just as she pulled out her horn and was about to tearfully enter oath. Hello, why are you crying? In the era of the High Queen 2002, she met a sickly human child. Huff, huff. Manchester, I must hurry to Manchester. I must get the fairies there to Chaldea. I must give Eldas at least a little more time. That day had been 17 years since she first met the human child. The time she spent with him was the happiest in her life. It was the first time she ever experienced true peace and fulfillment. Though hesitant about this new love that violated her rule of only loving the strong, she also found joy in it. So that's how she was able to resist devouring them, because she only wanted the strong to have their strength, but someone who wouldn't offer anything. The human is obviously weak, she would never be tempted to eat him. For someone like her who had only been eating strong fairies that might grow stronger herself, this love was a balm, proof she wasn't the beast she'd always dreaded. So she swore to do everything she had to protect this new love. She decided she would fight to protect this beautiful heart. Humans and fairies existing, living as equals. Even if such a thing may still be difficult for all of Britain, she thought she could only at least make it happen for her own territory. Fairies of Manchester agreed and were thrilled at the idea of migrating to proper human history. It's over for Britain. Camelot's already overrun with Moors, and the other cities will follow soon. Before that happens, I need to get to Manchester. I need to gather my residents, bring them to shore while Chaldea waits. Even if I can't go there myself, I can at least make sure they survive. She exits the woods, finally reaching her home of Manchester, but there... Huh? She sees the fairies of Manchester laughing as they slaughter their human neighbors. Get rid of them, get rid of them, get rid of the old toys before we move. Tear off the limbs, rip out the guts, so much fun. First screams the best, and now the rest compare. Now slay them, kill them, and get arrested before Bargus gets back. She doesn't find out. Bargus will be furious if she finds out we've been keeping them in our sheds. Bargus will be giddy if she finds out we've been killing them in our hiding them in our sheds all day. Bargus, big eater of many loves. If she finds out, she'll punch us for not letting her join the fun. What? What's this? What are you doing? She yelled at the wicked fairies of town. They smiled and replied, What do you mean? We're just imitating you, Barguest. We know all about it. We saw you in your mansion. We hid and watched you. You had so much fun playing house. You read wonderful stories. You're enjoying yourself so much we try to imitate you. Imitating me by killing humans. I killed a human, but... you treat him so kindly, you cared for him so tenderly, and then you ate him, then you ate him right in your manner. It was so much fun to watch. We decided to try it ourselves, and it was fun, way more fun. There's nothing more fun than killing humans. Interesting, so even weak wasn't able to get around the curse. I suppose it's a problem she had to suffer. Ah! No wonder she finally snapped. She thought she finally found a loophole in the curse, only for it to just be as strong as ever. And people wonder why I have a war tag active for this game. I've had this dream so many times. I'm crying while eating what remains to be stupid, my lover. Having another good cry? Why don't you come here? You have to stop crying. Tell me what happened. Okay, I promise never to stop liking you, no matter how embarrassing it may have been. Only this strong. That's how I thought there was no way I'd eat him. You know, there's nothing like a fun story to cheer you up. Why don't I tell you another tale of your favorite Knights of the Round Table? I'll tell you a story of the floats and the drifter here as a changeling, a florid, proud, and slightly somber story. A story of braver knights you've always looked up to. But I've broken for so long, strong, weak, it didn't matter. Here, look at the garden. The flowers you planted have grown beautifully, and I see you planted another one for me today. I can enjoy them. Oh, so this is what the scene with Muriel was supposed to be. When the fairy has such a huge trauma, they'll sometimes just block out what they've actually done. Alheim is a horrible beast, a monster that only wants to eat those she loves. Poor Barghest. Want to end your life to atone for your sins? I know how you feel, but let's take it easy. You're truly the most noble of fairies. Your ending your own life would be a truly tragic loss. Is that Morgan? Let's make a deal. It's a little too soon for you to take on the curse. I'll seal this memory away, so go on believing he's alive. Don't worry, if things get too hard, just come back to this room and you can experience his last day again, just like a dream. Was it Morgan? I guess Morgan's one of the very few who could have done that, but she's been dead a while at this point in the story. I guess it depends when this terrible event occurred. Was it a while ago? Come on, let's go to the outside world. Will there be more humans to eat? It'll be so much fun, more fun than this. I just know we'll be happy with all those humans to play with. You know, I've read about this book and arrive at floats. Some creatures do things like this are called demons. I knew then that I had to kill them. I was wrong. I chose to protect the wrong thing. Listen, I'll never had anything in the way of justice. I have to take responsibility. I can't let them go to the outside world. Look, everyone, Barghest is smiling. She's about to do another one of her hilarious performances. Barghest the cryberry, Barghest crying tears of happiness. What kind of prey are you having today? Don't be stingy. Let's have some too. I have to kill every last one of these evil creatures. Kill every last one of them. Ah, there it is again. It's all over. Not even the vault castle will keep us safe. Norwich is done for. We're dead if we stay here. Let's make a break for it before that thing chews through it like it did the city walls. What about Lord Spriggan? Should we take him with us? Who cares? He chose to hole up in the vault. He's not our lord anymore as far as I'm concerned. Come on, I'm gonna open the door. Once we head out, we'll head straight for the harbor. As long as we make it to the sea, we won't have to worry about that being burned alive. Well, clearly you do. She's just like those cartoons. Run away? Idiot. What's the point of going anywhere if I have to leave all this precious art behind? My vault castle is impenetrable. I spent 100 years reinforcing the bell tower and making it the strongest tower of pure iron in Britain. It can stand up to any number of wars. But can it stand up to a Barghest? Cut that out. Don't you know how dangerous that is? Who's gonna restore all these precious works of art I've been collecting if they get damaged? Nobody, that's who. Not even Morgan understood their true value. It's unbelievable. They're merely imitating humanity can accomplish. Yes, 90% of this is worthless junk, but the other 10% miraculous. Diamonds in the rough. Somehow, against all odds, this country produced some of the finest work of art ever made. Yes, that's right. It's fine if these fairies don't see its value. Indeed, there'd be little point in trying to explain it to these plebeians anyway. Fucking plebs. Britain's art's mine. The only reason I've stayed behind all these years. My soul has been enthralled this world the moment I wandered into it. Collecting this treasure has been my reason to dare. It's mine, only mine, mine. I'd sooner see Britain burn than give us this priceless vault. Well, then I suppose you can be buried with it, can't you? Damn, we cut that out already. What the world's going on out there? Oh my. Oh my. Well, this is hell of a thing. Don't I look the fool for saying I'd rather see Britain destroyed? I can't believe I not only misjudged my clientele, but also my chance to quit while I was ahead. True, I did want a foolish puppet I could manipulate as I pleased, but even that only goes so far. There's nothing so difficult as to control as a runaway Philistine. I know I should have better looked down on him. I'd question how he knew what a Philistine was, but yeah, he's a changeling from proper human history, so yeah, he does know about our terminologies and histories like that. And our slang, I guess. That aside, I thought Morgan or Chaldea would be the ones to destroy Britain. I never would have imagined it'd be that one woman's idiot idea. All things begin with the smallest of foundations, however they may eventually flourish. Foundation so small even the tiniest of insects gnawing at it could make it all come crashing down. I guess he seems to be at peace with his fate. Well, good for him, I guess. At least he's going out on his terms with what he likes. I guess if I want to be absolutely generous. Probably more than I should be, whatever. Alright, we're stuck to landing. Norwich is just a stone's throw away. Hang tight, I'm flooring it. Damn, over 1,000 degrees out there, just like in Manchester, and there's tons of black dogs, too. Before we get there, let me remind you what Holmes said. When we know of your past battles with Barghest, what we saw over Manchester, safe to assume she can absorb the life force of any human with low magic energy resistance who gets too close to her. So this time you need to stay behind the shadow border and summon your servants remotely. Barghest's magical energy consumption has a 1-kilometer radius, so this will be the greatest distance you've ever summoned from. According to Nemo's professor calculations, you can only summon 1 shadow servant, 2 if you really push your limits. While we're on the subject, Nemo Nurse also said to tell you that you'll seriously regret if you try to summon 2. Got it. Then I'm gonna have to go with 2 to support MASH. Thank you, Master. Yeah, that's what I thought you'd say. Don't worry, I'll take the heat from the nurse right there with you. Whoop. There's the high-density magic signal we've been experiencing 6 kilometers ahead, right in the center of Norwich. Where's the feed from the telescope? Looks like Barghest looks... Ah! Yeah, Barghest is a dog-like fairy creature. This is indeed her true form. She's over 40 meters tall. She's actually eating that lightning? We need the storm borders to even stand a chance. Are you guys sure you want to do this? Not too late to turn around. Even Holmes said if worst comes to worst, we don't have to fight her. I'm sure. Please, let me go to her. There's nothing to be afraid of. The old Barghest was much stronger. Seriously? Wait, seriously? Damn, this Barghest sounds like hell of a gal. Fine. You sure about this too, Master? Because we're coming to the point of no return real fast now. I'm sure. Just be careful out there, Mash. I will, Master. Opening the hatch and casting leg enchantment spell. Let's go. 2 servants, huh? Ah, wonderful. I can bring Castoria. Gonna have to be Chloe. Not my first choice, but she's my only arts archer that's single target for now. And I absolutely want to rely on art as my absolute focus for this team. Let's focus on a more defensive Mystic Code. As nice as damage would be, I must be absolutely sure Chloe survives at all costs. If I have to, I'll use command seals, but I'm pretty sure I shouldn't need them. Plus, I've got 8 or 9 of blue cubes still. And yeah, these are the final battles. I'm absolutely not holding back anymore. They expire in a month or so. Calamity the Beast. Magical Energy Devourer. Well, doesn't that suck ass? Oh, right, and P-sealed. Well, don't I look the fool. Does this last a certain amount of turns? Oh boy, it doesn't! You know what, maybe I should stick with it here, just because, yeah, there's still other ways I can deal damage besides just NPs. That is not fun. What's the debuff on her? Delayed effect, death. Inflict death after 5 turns. Are you kidding me? Are you serious? Whatever. Yeah. Okay, so I get it. They want me to take out the first bar with face cards. I can do that, but in that case, I'm bringing 2 DPS and MASH. Pure archers this time. Oh, nice, it remembered. Don't get me wrong, I really do want Castoria, but if we're gonna have to brute force this with basic attack cards, I need someone with, let's see, where's my other archer? Here we are. Yeah, 2 DPS, 1 support should be fine. Our attack stats may be reduced, but a small price to pay. Can't NP, but I can use a nice Brave Chain, and that should help, I hope. Oh my. Well, isn't this... That is a lot more damage than I was expecting. Higher crit damage should be fine, I think. So let's do it. Well, that's rather frustrating. Alright, so yeah, I lose if automatically lose if Mash dies. So first of all, I need to remember to have her defense buffs up from the start. And in that case, maybe I should just bring Castoria. She can't NP, but she can buff. One problem is that means I only have one person who can actually deal damage, which I'm not really happy about. But there's not much I can do about it. Alright, let's just do this then. How am I supposed to do this? Or rather, how should I go about some... Mash's boosted damage is probably what I need most. Yeah, she's doing way more damage than anyone else. That's a little painful. Not much I can do about that, unfortunately. Sigh. Well, that's mildly annoying. Alright, here we go. Alright, there we go. This is not very fun. Let's hope this works. Damn it. This is not helping. Howl of retreat. Shadow forming death. Well, the break bar worked. I guess I should have realized it wasn't going to intend me to win when I couldn't deal any damage, except with face cards. Alright, this is the real one, it looks like. Alright, let's see how this goes then. Kuh. Come on, Master, pull yourself together. I knew you were pushing yourself too hard. I've been following along the monitor. There's no way you can beat her. She's consuming enough magical energy to kill a mage easily. I'm gonna contact Mash and get her out of there. She doesn't stand a chance by her. Am I seeing things or her shield glowing? New spirit origins? Here, I'll throw the data on the monitor. Do you recognize them? I sure do. I'd know them anywhere. Why are you getting up like... How many stim ampoules did you just take? You're gonna do this? The nurse said 2 servants was your limit. I know. It's okay. This is Mash's fight. Your fires raise the city to the ground. You become a demonic dog that burns fairies alive and feasts on smoke and lightning. You're a completely different creature than the knight I met before. You no longer live in the city or even remember your own name. I know that's no way I can defeat you. You probably devour most of your spirits before they even had a chance. Even so, I can't let you win, not here. There are fairies look up to you. Fairies who want nothing more than to come back here. You see the shield. This is the shield of the heroic knights you once admired. Rob, Rag, Winky. They didn't put their faith in me just so I could give up now. I'm Mash Caroline, Knight of Sheffield. I'm the Knight of the Round Table who banished the calamities and saved Britain from its fate. The true Gawain, Knight of the Sun. Well said, young maiden. You spoke not from anger at your enemy, but to inspire yourself. I've heard your stirring cry, and I cannot sit idly by. I hope you can forgive my tardiness. Would you permit me to join you on this battlefield, Lady Mash? I'm surprised you got here before me, Sir Gawain. I thought it was my duty to protect beautiful maidens. Then again, it seems I'm getting ahead of myself. This young lady clearly needs no escort. Her fighting spirit and bravery are truly like spring thunder. I doubt even our fellow knights could hope to match her. Do not think I'll let you keep the honor of fighting her at your side yourself, Sir Gawain. I'm not going anywhere, no matter how I may be mocked for being a hovering parent. What do you think this is, some kind of parents' day out of school? I mean, what are you two doing here? I thought her experience with proper human history couldn't be summoned to this Britain. So it would seem, but it appears we are a special case. There must have been people in the land who assumed our names. So if they're making use of our names, it's only fair they should make some room for us as well. Indeed, I've no way knowing who in this land chose to carry my name, but thanks to their reckless bravery and their exploits that I'm able to be here now. The spirit origin will last a few minutes, but that will suffice. Gawain, I leave the last legs to you. This demonic dog's clearly Cath Palug's equal. We have no time to argue. I can say the same to you, Lancelot. Don't take needless risks just because Lady Mash is here. Remember, failure's not an option, not with 3 knights of the Round Table fighting together. Now to arms, comrade. Together we shall carve a path for the Shield Knight. Indeed, let us be about it. Thank you, too. With your help, I should be able to defeat her. No, save her. Her name is Barghest, a loyal knight who's always done her best to protect his Britain. Choose your strength to protect the weak and pray for a world where they could live in peace. Black Calamity, leader of the fairy-eating beasts. As one entrusted with the name of the Knight from the Round Table, I will see you go no further. Only 2 of my servants. Well, I guess it's obvious who needs to be selected. Now, where is she? Here we are. Alright. These guys don't have class advantage, but I imagine they're gonna have buffs and stuff to make it worthwhile, so let's go. I don't believe this. It didn't say that if Mash is defeated, I lose, so I think we should be in good shape. Yep, we have the proper opening now. Calamity of the Beast. Barghest. Demonic Dog, Barghest. Protection. Magic Devour, no effect. Oh hey, we got a full battery. I think a full Gawain set should be good for this. Did Gawain get a... He probably got... Oh, I'm glad I didn't use too many buffs then. Here we go. This NP should do the trick. And we have a sunlight field. Excellent. I need to break this bar sooner rather than later, so Lancelot, Alonde. Use your Erendite, your Alondite. Oh man, he already got his NP back. Gotta love that. I do not fear you anymore, Barghest. If we lose someone, that is an acceptable loss. Lord Camelot to keep everyone buffed. There we are. There, you got an attack up. Alright, now Erendite Overload should do a lot more damage. He loves to remove my buffs, doesn't he? That did not go well. Predictive measures. Alright, we'll go with a full chain here. Full arts chain should give her another NP, and I can use Kastori's NP next turn to ensure that I can... There we are. You don't have to worry about the NP. And even if she NPs on this break bar, everyone's protected. Because of love. Well, that was rather unfortunate. Luckily, I don't need to worry about that too much. Because I have a secret weapon, and that's NP. A brave chain from Kiro should finish this. There we are. Almost did the trick. Mildly annoying, but I have a secret weapon. And I'm using this and not her battery because her battery is only 50%. Well, quote-unquote, only 50%. But this should fix it. Full arts chain, no holding back. There we are. Vargas is defeated. Alright, all the other calamities have been defeated. Now we only have one step left to go. Prophecy. Ah, how could I forget? There's still one last idiot we need to take care of. Beast's magical energy signal's gone. And the smoke and fire that's covering Norwich disappeared along with it. She did it! Mash banished the calamity, I can't believe it! Yeah, she really came through. Oh, sheesh. You just barely pulled through, too. I can't believe you remotely summoned 2 servants, twice no less. Just lie down and rest, okay? We have 10 minutes till our rendezvous, and Mash will be back, so... you should have just enough time to grab your wings. You know, I'm pretty tired. For some reason, I can just tell where he'll try to strike. We're both worthless, good for things at heart. I was thinking more about how things would end than how long they'd keep going. Remember that well, and don't let your guard till it's well and truly over. Wait, that's right, we can't take a rest yet. Phew. The battle was over. The Knights of the Round successfully banished Calamity. In its final moments, it almost seemed like an enormous hound was sleeping. Whether in gratitude or suffering, I don't know. Thank you, Sir Gawain, Sir Lancelot. Thanks to you two. I was able to show just what the true Knights of the Round Table are like, just like she wanted. Still, she paid a heavy price for her victory. As the report said, there were still signs the round shield before a chain summoning on the night Sheffield was destroyed. By importing their names, the Land of the Fae had given the Knights of the Round Table place to exist within this lost world, and as Galahad, Mash had benefited most from their arrangement. The summons themselves had been performed by the Round Table, and the heroic spirits who answered it appeared only briefly, but even without paying the price of the contract, Mash's stamina and mental energy were heavily depleted. I'm exhausted, but I don't have any major injuries, and my respiratory system's fine. Thank goodness. Just like a little rest, I should be back on my feet. Alright, shut up, Manure, I know I'm done. Make it back to Shadowborn in 3 to 4 minutes. He can just wait there. In the current state, Mash should be able to recover strength and magical energy combat levels in 3 minutes. And to make it back to Shadowborn in 2 kilometers, less than 1. However, be careful, Little Red Riding Hood. When you're tired, you're easy pickings for any wolf that may come along. Alright, so Beryl turned himself into a furry. Oh no, you don't, Beryl. Senpai, what are you doing here? I had a bad feeling, so I ran as quickly as I could. Never mind that now. We need to get your wound treated. Get behind me, Master. And thank you for helping me recover my strength almost instantaneously. It's a good thing you got there when you did. Ah. Well, shit. You ran all the way here from the border? What a killjoy. Didn't anyone ever tell you that you're supposed to stick to combat support? What a piss poor excuse for a master you are. Now you went and ruined the meal I've been looking forward to nearly forever. You're the worst. Guess I must have lost a step if I missed up something so easily. Hey, at least he's willing to give us a hand. Seems he's got some to spare, even. But yeah, his body's just barely holding together from the curses that were given to him. Barrowgut, I thought you might still be alive. Of course I am. Can't go dying when I still got a reason to live. Isn't that right, Mash? I'm sorry I left you alone for so long. I didn't get tired of you, I promise. Just lots of crap getting our way. Not only have there been no opportunities for us to spend time together like we used to, but you even got healthy enough to get up and start moving around on your own, just like the doctor planned. Man, I guess I miss our days in Caldea's treatment room. You always look so bored up there. That's why I went to liven things up. You didn't have much in the way of human emotions back then, but you still had the same responses to pain as anyone. I still remember the sound of the bones in your fingers snapping, the way your screams echoed around the room. It was like I was playing in a concert hall, and you were the piano, just the two of us alone in the world. Ugh, my head's killing me. What the hell's going on? Whatever, there's no doctor here now. Sure, there's someone else trying to spoil our fun, but he won't come between us for much longer. I'm sorry to keep you waiting for so long, Mash. What are you even saying? I'm talking about love, of course. I don't want to kill Mash, just love her. Stay out of this, alright? Go on, Mash, tell him this is how we communicate. Tell him this is my love language. That may actually be true. You never had any malicious intent towards me, murderous or otherwise. When you broke my fingers in the treatment room, you seemed genuinely concerned for my condition. You listened intently to my cries of pain. You said that was love. You said that wasn't joy that moved you, but the sight of agony. You're one sick bastard, Beryl. Well, of course, I'm only human. I never had many friends I could relate to. Same with interest, really. It's hard to find someone who... Ah, damn it, I was hoping to take my time with this, but looks like my head's going now. Moore's curse has finally caught up to me, but it's okay. It just means I won't be able to act human anymore. So before that happens, I'm gonna take my blushing bride and be on my way. Mind giving us your blessing, go high? Go save the world if that's what it does do. Everyone's got their own little kinks. I don't really get it, but hey, different strokes, different folks. I'll ask in turns to keep your nose out of other people's love lives. Master. I should probably bring Ryder, Toki, and Scotty. Oh no, I'm just gonna Ryder, Toki, and Matt, and Castoria. I know Castoria doesn't synergize perfectly since he's quick and not arts, but I really want the option for Castoria's invincibility. Not to mention her general NP gain will help him spam his NP a lot more. And spamming his NP is precisely what I want. We're gonna ram this bastard with the motorcycle until he stops getting up. Yo, where you going, Mash? You have to be over here, don't you know? Moore's illness, lose HP, increase the amount of damage done by curse damage. Might as well get everyone's protection up. I don't mind doing it this way. Hey, you know what? Let's do it. We're going to allow Kentoki to spam his NP As many times it takes to kill, and I... Oh, I love this music. This is usually what the music that plays when you battle the Trees of Emptiness, but... Well, this world doesn't have one. Ram him, Rider Toki. And if he gets back up, we'll ram him again. As many times as it takes. Just a bit short. That's alright. We can finish this with regular cards. Crying out loud, there's too many obstacles. Pressure. How long does this last? 3 turns. Mildly annoying. Gonna have to do it. Well, I probably could have reversed those, but whatever. Point is, we're gonna be spamming Lord Camelot to keep everyone alive then. Fang's lineage. Yeah, you're not doing much to me. Unfortunate to be losing all these sexy buffs off Rider Toki, but if I have to finish this with Mash, I absolutely will. She's got a pretty big damage bonus in this story. Soiled man, damage cut. Ha. That's what Mash is good for, making you deal 0 NP damage. I think I saw this in a dream once. It's officially over, buddy. Now, does this have more than 1 guts? 5 left, oh my. He's quite determined, I'll give him that. We have 1 more turn before he uses NP. I'll use Castoria's NP to protect everyone before then. Although granted, with how much I've been spamming Lord Camelot, he'd probably do 0 damage even if he got through. Overkill. He only survives with 1 HP each time. I could probably survive taking the damage raw, but... Actually, I might not even have to worry about it. He only has 2 left, so... Last one. Finish it, Castoria. There we go. Finally, it's the end of Beryl. Although he was a mage, Barrelgut's true profession and passion was killing. He learned the dark arts from his mother, one of the Magecraft World's rejects. And a witch. Yeah, Morgan did call him the son of a witch. In the Mage Association, the witch is not simply a word for a female mage. It's also for magical girls. Also, they're considered completely different creatures from humans. Supernatural beings by nature, witches created the Mage Association's Umina, or Botany Department, which studies curses and medicines. And were also involved with the establishment of the first magic. There are no witches present in the Mage Association anymore. As time went on, civilization developed, they changed both their form and their way of life. Barrelgut's mother was one such witch. The witches' transformations were myriad. Some returned to the earth, some went to the past, some joined the first. Mages thought these transformations were miraculous and spoke of them in reverent tones. Meanwhile, some witches abandoned their way of life and assimilated to civilization society, some of them falling so low as to become humans. Witches who've fallen were treated as neither with compassion or respect. No matter what kind of magecraft or mystics they suggest, no mage would recognize them as humans. As far as they were concerned, any witch who survived the modern day as a human was no more than refused. Yeah. This franchise is another one of the many that likes to slam into your head, mages are assholes. And boy, are they assholes. Although granted, given how the other organizations are, they can often be worse, so... Hey Gran, why do witches die if they fall in love with a human? A young Beryl posed a question to a witch claiming to be his mother one day. His mother, who more closely resembled an enormous toad in a robe than a human being, replied, Ribbit, that's easy. They mix bloodlines, that rots our souls. We're fairies, you see. We don't give birth to children. I'm my own daughter, see? But I screwed up real bad. Why did it end up looking like this? Please let me go back to my old form. So she accidentally cursed herself to become a frog. Curse the monster, curse the little wench. So what if she's human descendant? What does that mean? She can do whatever she wants. Even though I screwed up, I'm the one who was deceived. If only I'd never met him. If only I'd never gotten involved with a human, then I never would have been stuck with a brat like you. She apologized the moment words left her mouth. I'm sorry, Beryl. I don't know why I said that. You're my precious son, my darling boy. It's okay, Gran. I know you don't actually mean that. Now don't cry. You can't see the stars in your eyes when you cry. They're your best feature. Better than anyone else's. Oh my, thank you, Beryl. You're the only one I can count on. The only thing I have worth living for. He lived with his mother, away from human society, where she taught him all manner of curses and rituals. It's unclear how much influence these spells, most of witches use their life as their chief ingredient, had on Beryl's personality. He learned things like how to track prey, how to make a witch's pot that could cross two living things together. So he learned that fusion spell from Full Metal Alchemist. No wonder he's grown to like furries so much. He learned how to conceal himself, how to make deadly poison, turn karma into tumors, how to amplify pain, how to borrow against misfortune. He especially loves spells suited to assassination torture, and his mother happily trained him. So there's no more spells you have to teach me. I see. That's too bad, Ma. Yeah, who didn't see that coming? He put out his mother's eyes and left the forest. One day he put out his mother's eyes and left the forest behind him. After that, he did as he pleased. He sold his services as a mage who dealt exclusively in killing, and for a time, life was good. But eventually, he'd kill so many people he could no longer live comfortably even in the underworld. Then, just as he was looking for a new place to call home, he was recruited to Chaldea by its director, Marsbury Atmosphere, and came to what would be his third homeland, a base in the Antarctic. Yeah, the more we learn about Marsbury, the more we learn they aren't exactly a good person. There he saw a creature so ugly he scarcely believed his eyes. Whoa, you gotta be shitting me. What the hell's that? I thought Chaldea was supposed to be a humane organization about preserving humanity. How does this thing figure in your mission, Doctor? This creature's ugliness was a matter of appearance, but a way of life. It was incomplete, an eternally premature, like an eternally premature infant. Beryl laughed, said it reminded him of a bollard egg, and on top of that, hey doctor, what's that girl's name? I've seen a ton of people over the years, and that girl right there, she's something special. I have a long way to go now, but someday she's gonna be prettier than everyone else. Beryl may have inherited his mother's green thumb. He had a gift for growing flowers. He knew that this one might be a miserable sight now, but in 10 years she'd bloom into something beautiful. And so he decided to watch over the flower's growth. It brightened his dreary days. That said, I don't actually know the first thing about art. Whenever I go to a new country, I always make sure to visit its biggest art museum. I've seen a lot of renowned landscapes and paintings, but I didn't think much of them. I could tell they were well made, of course, but that's all. For the longest time, I figured I just wasn't the kind of guy who could appreciate beautiful things, but then I fell in love, MASH. I finally got to know who I really am. I don't hurt you because it's fun or because I hate you. I hurt you because I care about you, so I can love you. That's the kind of guy I am. I'm just the type of guy who can only recognize beauty once it's been damaged. So I'm gonna keep you safe from everyone and everything. I'm not gonna let Dr. Marsbury have their way with you. I'm not gonna let them give you a serious light. That was my condition for going there. Cleanup guy. Oh. The serious light is a truly powerful ability, but it costs the user's very life to use. So the fact MASH doesn't have that, well, it's more a blessing than a curse anyways, because it now means the writers now don't have an easy kill MASH button. And you don't want the writers to have that. Well, I guess they could do it in other ways, but... Well, my point is, it's better that she doesn't have that sort of ability. Remember this, Smash. I'm not gonna die as long as you're around. I'll always have fun in a world with you in it. Hard to believe, isn't it? I know I can hardly believe myself, but it's true. You're the most important thing in this world to me. Ah, so. You don't mind, right, Mash? I want to see you suffer more than anything. Barrel gut. Honestly, he deserved that. Barrel gut was taken in temporary custody with his access to this area of Chaldea was revoked. This was a year before the fateful day Team A embarked on their first experimental race shift, and they were basically killed out of it as a result. Huh. That's weird. Why are you punching me, Doctor? Are you trying to take her away from me again? Wait, please, you can't do this to me. I still haven't felt anything. I only accept the shitty deal to be brought back to life because they said you were here. All I wanted was to see you again. Don't take one more step, Beryl, or I'll kick your ass myself. Okay, Master, he can't do anything anymore. His power is all gone. That's it, those eyes. Those eyes are beautiful. You gotta take good care of them. You only got two after all. You don't have to run. I'll keep you safe. I love you, Mash. I love you from the bottom of my heart. Yes, I'm sure you do. But I don't understand what you call love, Beryl, and I don't think anyone ever will. Well, that was a way for him to go, that's for sure. But nonetheless, that's one last problem we can mark off the list. Okay, the Shadow Border's on its way to Norwich, so now it's my turn. I'll be back in 20 minutes. Right, I know you said Celebrate's the safest city in Britain, so I'm sure you'll be alright. While you're searching, you don't want to take down a bodyguard or two just to be safe. I know captains and marines have to stay on the Stormboard to make repairs, but you could always ask Grimir or Castoria to go with you, no? For that matter, while it pains me to say it, I could have Holmes accompany you too, or go with you myself to say, you Gordy, I thought you hated singularities. I do, and Lostbelt for that matter. Hell, I don't even want to think about setting foot outside the border. But circumstances being what they are, I can't be choosy. Besides, I have a very bad feeling about this. You really are worrywart, aren't you? I appreciate the thought, but it'll be faster if I go alone. I already passed for a ferry. I know my way around as well. Besides, we only have one pair of jet wings, remember? Don't worry, I'll be fine. I'm just gonna swoop in, pop over the pub, come back with Habitat, in and out. I'll be back soon. Take care of the storm border while I'm gone, Captain. Of course, I may be the ship's captain, but you're its brain. We need you back here as soon as possible. Oh, you know just as well that the professor could handle things here, too. Still, I appreciate the vote of confidence. I'll be extra quick, just for you. I really hope we don't get bad news about Habitat. We've already lost way too many people. Or Mike, for that matter. I want... Oh, good, Mike's still alive. The city's burning. It's been forever now. There haven't been any tidings from Lady Aurora. Everyone in the city's changed. Of course, I'm not surprised. Deep down, we're all jealous of each other. We pretend to laugh when we actually seethe. We pretend to be sad when we secretly smiled. That's just what we fairies are like, so of course this is how things turned out. Pub's so quiet, no sign of the fairies used to smile or laugh here anymore. Nobody comes to my pub, I guess Britain truly is done for. That's okay, things are just back the way they were before. My pub was always like this. Drab, boring, a far cry from the place of Main Street, just like me. All the exciting recent stuff was just a special occasion, unbelievably, once-in-a-lifetime exception. Phew, good thing I made it here without anyone seeing me. That was too damn close for comfort. Man, Gordy was right. I had no idea how bad things got here. Da Vinci, you came back. Oh, this is great. You're alright. Things took a bad turn at the cathedral. That's why I'm so worried about you. Hey, Mike, good to see you safe and sound, too. Not that I was especially worried about you. Your pub's extremely sturdy, and you're not the type to take unnecessary risks. I knew you wouldn't let the rumors mess with you, or take the streets like the other fairies. Yeah, of course, I've been in the kitchen all this time, coming up with new recipes. Here, Da Vinci, check it out, this one's really something. I found out you can make a really thin kind of bread with a buckwheat flour that I got from Norwich. They could put all kinds of yummy things on top, like cream, ham, veggies. That's amazing, Mike, you invented galettes. Not even Norwich managed to come up with those. They've been breaking the Queen's laws, doing what they want for ages. You must have been doing a lot of experimenting to figure this out. This is a proud moment for me as a teacher. Yeah, I did. I worked really hard at it. It was fun. It wasn't easy, but it was fulfilling. Like a whole new world's opened up. I'm not the same useless Mike I was before. I'm a fully fledged fairy now. It's all thanks to you. Ah, you're giving me too much credit. Didn't make you no hard worker. that going for you all along. You would have made something of this pub even if I had never showed up. Where are you going to, Vinci? On the second floor. Oh, popped in to get something I forgot. I need to grab Tifone and Habitron and go back to our ship. Go back. Where to? Our ship's parked in the air. Once I get back, we gotta take care of the Calamity. Here's a thought. I know Gordy won't be happy, but do you want to come with us? The riot out there isn't calming down anytime soon, yeah? Having one fairy come along with us won't make a difference. No thanks, I'll stay here. Sorry, they've still got the basement. I'll be safe no matter what. Yeah, it's safe here. There's nowhere safer. There's no point going out. We can just stay here. Oh no. Oh no, don't tell me he's going to go nuts. Not Mike. Oh, not anyone but Mike. Apachar, are you still conscious? Yeah, is that you, Da Vinci? I knew you'd come back for me eventually. I wish I could have gotten to meet you myself, but oh well. You don't have to say anything. Your face is saying everything I need to know. That's good. Keeps things simple. Yeah, it does. I don't know how things ended up like this or why you made the choice you did. After scanning all Britain with the border, there was only a conclusion that made sense. You're going to help us, right? Of course, it's been kind of tough staying awake all this time. I hate to ask, would you mind carrying me? I can't really move so well anymore. You bet. That was the plan, after all. Thanks for everything, Habitrot. You truly are our bride's best friend. I know the truth, Da Vinci. I know you're not a human or a fairy, but I don't think Master or the others do. You're stronger than even a fairy, but your life's much shorter. Pretty soon it's going to end. Okay, I got Tifone MK2. Now I better hurry. I've already taken longer than I meant to. Why not stay here? That way you'll have at least a little longer if you go back outside. Oh no, he's falling to despair. Sorry for the trouble, Mike, but I'm glad you were here. And I don't just mean for today, I mean all of it. If I hadn't met you, our journey would have been a lot harder, so thank you for listening that day. Pub life turned out to be fun. Since I might not get another chance to say this, I want to tell you you've got a lot more going for you than you realize. And I know you've got lots of days filled with fun, even more fun ahead of you. Alright, take care now. I'm off to save the world. Turn around and head for the door. Her back is completely exposed. I'm gonna leave forever unless I do something. Without Da Vinci, I'll just go back to being my regular self. I don't want to do that. I don't want to think about it. That idea is too frightening. I need Da Vinci here. She should stay here. She'll live longer that way, so... Uh... Door open and she steps out. If I clutch just outside, clatters the floor. I stare back as she shrinks, barely able to see her through my tears. That's why Da Vinci... she wouldn't be Da Vinci if she wasn't free. Going wherever she wants is what makes her Da Vinci. She knows she doesn't have much time, but she still keeps reaching for her dreams. That's why she shines so brightly. So I have to see her off. I have to keep smiling to the end. I used to think this place was a dream world, where we could have anything we wanted, but I was wrong. Real dreams aren't so easily obtained. That's why every day is so hard and fun. That's what makes life worth a struggle, even if the world about you is a bit to end. Even if you're a horrible monster like us. Yeah. Farewell, my friend from a far-off world. Thank you for coming to Britain, for my pub. Thank you for all those wonderful days. They truly were a dream come true. So the angel spread her wings and flew straight from the danger city to the world beyond. Mike was able to resist despair, even in his worst moment. Alright, Mashman and Master are back from Norwich. And Da Vinci's back from Salisbury. All of your units complete their missions and we can set course to the pit. Before we leave, we still have time to do one last run through the operation. Commander Gordolf, would you do the honors? Right, of course. These run-throughs are important after all. I appreciate your consideration. Right then, listen up, Chaldea. Lostbelt field team and local collaborators. We're about to fly in the pit to begin our battle against Cheranos. This should be our final battle in Britain, so don't worry about saving your strength for later. I want all of you to use everything you can, every special technique, every ace up your sleeve. And I mean it. You guys are always holding back one last trick. This time I want to see no holding back and no secret last-minute surprises. We're just going to carry out this operation as we plan it. We're going to defeat Cheranos. Remember, we were all wiped out once before. It's only thanks to that witch Koyanskaya that we are still here. And according to Da Vinci, there's no more sign of her spirit origin anywhere in Britain. I'd say the odds are good she's already left this Lostbelt behind, and good riddance, but at any rate, this is our last shot at this. Don't count on getting a third chance. I'll make sure to give it everything we've got. Good, now then, would you hand over the particulars, Administrator? Certainly, Commander. Repairs in the Stormboat are complete, and our flight and weapon systems are fully operational. Meanwhile, it's been 20 minutes since Cheranos appeared in the pit. Going from previous experiences, the Calamity Hands at a Solstice will appear in another 40 minutes. Just like the Fire Calamity that attacked Storm Border, we expect there to be a change in Cheranos this time as well, specifically defensive systems. Once he realizes we have a divine construct on board for our caster, there's a very high chance that Calamity will try to attack us. That's right. Before, it was just incidentally getting us along the way, but now it might actually target. And its simplicity isn't possible. Simply isn't possible to evade all these cursed hands. This time, we'll pour everything we have into a defensive anti-curse layer, take them directly. Isn't that right, Grimir? Oh, yep, you got it. I'm gonna put up a meditation spot, a well up on the deck. Proxy or no, I'm still the god of wisdom. If I'd really concentrate, I could turn this whole ship into sacred ground. Couldn't do much against Albion's thermic rays, but I could definitely hold off spiritual interference. So I'll take on Chernos' curse, his anger, all by myself. He and I are both Celtic, so the least I can do is hear him out. There you have it. With Grimir the Sage's help, the Stormborder can close enough to Chernos to fight him. Last time he destroyed Camelot 15 minutes after he appeared, so we'll need to defeat him before that happens. Our combat team will consist of the Master, Mash, and Castoria. Though naturally, since he'll be on deck, Grimir will participate as needed, as well as Chaldea's servants. We have 30 minutes to win the battle starting now. Do be sure to keep that in mind, Master. We just passed Oxford. 5 minutes till visual. Should I keep going or should I make a detour? No need for a detour, Marine. Grimir, prepare for battle if you would. It's time for us to get rid of the final calamity. Giant hole. Here we go. Gonna take a sip of my drink before we continue, because this is gonna be a rough fight. Alright. We usually have a fight before the true final battle, just to gauge the fight, where our intended plan completely no-sells against the target, and then we pull a new plan entirely out of our rear that was actually always there the whole time and proves to be the decisive victory, so we'll get ready here. Do 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 do. Well, this is it. We are almost to the pit. Nervous? Yeah. No point in holding back. Me too. I mean, think about it. We're about to fight a god, a god. Oh, don't worry about it. Those guys get knocked over left, right, and center when we're around. So I say you don't have to worry about it. Doesn't really get more intimidating than the opponent's goes, does it? Not that I want to talk. I only just learned about proper human history at the site of selection, after all. But you must be used to these kind of things, right, Master? This is far from your first time, right? Yeah, but it never gets any easier. I see. Well, that's a relief. Now I know it's okay to be nervous, but could you pick up my staff for me if I end up dropping it from sheer nerves? Well, you haven't changed a bit. Nope, doing everything on my own still beyond me. Glad to have others pick up my slack. So, did you find the reason you were looking for? Nope, no luck there, I'm afraid. Still in the dark there as ever. That's okay, might not know why I keep persevering, but I think there was someone who did know. Oh, but I'm getting off track. Master, I want to thank you now while I still can. Once you defeat Cyrnos, I'll go back to Avalon and you'll go back to your own world. This me is just what was left after Miramasa took over the final part of the Sacred Sword's creation for me. Once I use up my magic energy, my role is complete and I'll fall to a deep sleep, just like how King Arthur left for Avalon in your world. So after we dealt with Calamity, I'm going home to paradise. And here I thought you were going to, you know... I've always known where I'd return one day. I've known since I sacrificed myself at the site of selection. No, it's never slowed the surface, really. Before I leave, there was one other thing I must do. I have to pay back for everything you've done for me. For an Avalon Lefay like me, saving Brit means restoring the false Britain the way it should be. But you and your companions are different. You knew it was false, and yet you still wanted to save it. So I figure just this once I'd like to share the same goal. For as long as you keep holding to hope, this Avalon Lefay will keep listening to you. And not just so you can save Britain, so you can save the world. Yeah, one day I'm sure we will. By the way, Master, I have a question for you. What part of this journey do you enjoy most? And don't say Manchester. Well, that was sudden. Let's see. Honestly, that strikes me as one of those things that's gonna have to change each time I answer. How about when he made that horrible monstrosity in Edinburgh? What about you, Castoria? Let me think. I can definitely felt the most fired up. I was definitely the most fired up for the chocolate making, the most shocked in Norwich. I think my happiest memory was in the Welsh woods, the 14th day after we met. That's when we shook hands at the 3rd time. I just want to help the child of prophecy on top of that. Man, that was so cool. Huh, I can't believe you remember that. So on that note, this will be our last one. Thank you for everything, Castoria. Distance Chernos, 5 kilometers, descending to begin our final approach to the target now. Contact in 2 minutes. All hands, get to your seats and strap on until we get there. Alright, see you later. Well, the most fun I actually had was our 11th day in Gloucester. For you, it was probably nothing special. It was my first time taking a walk down the big street with someone I really liked. I'll probably look at the records to see how she reacts to all the answers you make. Yeah, it's hard to choose a favorite here. I'm sure if you were to ask me on a different day, I'd give a different answer each time, just because this Lostbelt's been absolutely incredible. And not just because, well, as a fellow Fey creature myself, I'm very partial to this story. We have a visual on Chernos. Look out, status reports. Target's making a move. I'm picking up multiple energy signals from the bottom of the pit. It's the cursed hands, putting up anti-curse layer and anti-misfortune barriers now. Oh man, are we sure those will be enough? They're pouring at us like Niagara Falls. Oh, don't worry, I'll push them all back at once. In my death, I speak of life. Oh, it is better than ley line of the mistletoes. Ever the past and grow towards the future. For the next 9 days, no folly shall be tolerated. Across the twilight. Gambate in Valhalla. Oh, his cursed hands has turned to light and vanished. The second wave coming, but without working, I don't have anything to worry about. I knew this would cost his... Oh, damn it, he countered my retaliating curse. Gotta have Master, not getting another shot. You need to finish this now. Absolutely. The armor may provide some protection, but we can't avoid the atmospheric magical energy contamination. Master will therefore remotely summon servants to the command room to aid in battle, while continuing to provide MASH with mystical energy. Let's begin our fight against Chernos. It's time to bring all Bryn's calamities to an end once and for all. Oh, neat. We can actually bring Sherlock with us. Although, granted, I'm not sure why anyone would bring anyone other than Castoria. Ooh, I can use my whole team this time. I could bring a second Castoria to be safe, but I should probably bring a healer here as well. Wait, what am I talking about? I have a second Castoria right here. Although, perhaps I should exchange these 2 spots here. That way, if we lose Storic Castoria, we have my Castoria left. Jason is really just here to keep the total party cost down. I guess Queen Sheba's as good a choice as any. I don't honestly have that many single target servants, so... Well, here goes nothing. Said not to hold anything back, so no holding anything back. Calamity of the curse. Chernos. Chernos. Layered curse fabrication. He's harming himself? Mental corruption. Debuff increased chance against fey creatures, of which I have none here. Layered carry-on curse. Gain resistance to all attacks. Effects increases based on number of layered curse. Increase attack for yourself based on number of debuffs. And nullify incapacitation applies stay immune to debuff removal. Interesting. Layered curse at the end of each turn. This is going to be a little tricky, but... Alright, here we go. Enshrine Deity Chernos. Let's go. Debuff immune. Sadly, he can't guts himself, so in a longer fight like this, he's gonna draw. But that's how it goes sometimes. Okay, that's funny. Although I just realized I probably shouldn't be using someone who relies on debuffs as heavily as she does. Oh my. I just realized he's spinning. Oh, right, that's because we're on top of the shadow border. Alright, first of all, give everyone some protection, remove debuffs. Overgauge. Magical energy contamination. NP seal. Oh, how lovely. How incredibly frustrating. What's this? One turn I have to delay, huh? That is not ideal in any way, shape, or form. Of course we lose, Historia, why wouldn't we? Debuff immune. Huh. Let's go with this. Crit up. Sheeba's not the best crit servant, but she can suffice. This is actually a fight I am concerned I may need multiple revives for, so... But that's why I have the blue cubes. Alright, HP loss bypasses that. Moving layered curves. I can dodge here just fine. Oh. Lovely. And it's for a single turn. How lovely that is, and not massively frustrating. Sherlock is pretty much immune to debuffs for most fights, so I think... Yeah, here we go. Use a leyline stone. I still got a bunch of these left, no point in holding back. I don't want NP seal because I want him to deal that damage, so let's do this. We're gonna do it this way to be sure I get 3 layers of invincibility that he cannot pierce. I might just bring Queen Sheba to 100 simply because I don't have that many single targets, and hey, a single target caster is pretty rare. Not that you actually need one, in fact they're kind of penalized for it, but hey, why not? Don't go. Okay, good. I can get a full arts chain with Queen Sheba. That should be really good damage. Well, the NP is gonna break it, but what matters is she'll get enough for another one after this. And she has guts, so if he instantly NPs and kills her, she'll survive. Yeah, look at that. That sucks, but I can take it. Layered curse, regenerate acceleration. Oh, wow. Oh, you asshole! You went right through her. Ugh. Oh boy, now I get to have Jason as my main DPS. That's not going to piss the hell out of me. Whatever. Jason, time to show what you can do and make me laugh with your animations. Oh wow, that was a graphical glitch. 10k, what the... Oh right, because it has so many curses. How incredibly frustrating. Whatever, this will protect everyone. Wow, we got 3 hits in. This is mildly frustrating. Well, like I said, I don't mind using as many leyline crystals as this takes. So... not use that yet. This order should be ideal. I know this is a completely inefficient party that has no right to win just because I'm brute forcing it, but I don't care. Guess I need to remove more layers of the curse. Beautiful blue sky. Layered curse absorb. Well, what matters is I'm removing those curse layers. Why do you choose to... Absolutely need to get Brave Chains. I need to remove these layers of curse. Yeah, a couple more Brave Chains to reduce these curses so he actually takes damage will be good. Then when I use the next Leyline Crystal, it'll all be gone. Yeah, I need to remove 4 of these. He's probably gonna just obliterate me this turn. I still have 7 Leyline Stones, so time to win. I don't care. If you think I'm worried about that invincibility he has, I am not. Shiba has Ignore Invincible. What's the overcharge for all these again? Storing HP each turn probably isn't gonna matter, so let's do it this way. Did I forget to use her? Did I go on that to rant about her Ignore Invincible only forget to use it? Seriously? Oh dear. Remove all debuffs, including that timed one, because I don't want that.
誰に呼ばれるまでもなく、あなたは星をかざすでしょう。アラウンドスカイバーン。
And of course, guess I'll just do it this way.
このカラスの底に秘された太鼓さは何時を測り。
Oh no, she was still dealt damage to him. I should have seen that.
少し痛いぞ。
Curse consolidation. We've got guts. I'm not worried. But I'm gonna have to do this. Actually, Castor... Yeah. Last command seal. Release Noble Phantasm. Remove debuffs and... Yeah, whatever. Alright, let's go.
このカラスの底に秘された太鼓さは何時を測り見定める身の仕事なる。次へに組まず。
There we go. It's over. There we go. Probably doesn't qualify as a valid team comp or a valid win since I had to use revivals, but I don't care. It's not like I'm gonna use them for anything else. This is the last story at time streaming. Looks like this is pure story. That was Chernose. Consider the hardest fight in the entire game, even in the 2 years ahead that the home server in Japan is when it comes to story progress. So yeah, dang. Oh, come on. We just beat him. Jonas just instantly regenerated after his magical energy signal terminated. No signs of external injuries anywhere. It's no use. He's not gonna stop. We've only peeled off a few layers of skin. How'd it feel to fight him, Mash? Figure anything out? I'm afraid not. We dealt him countless lethal blows, but none did any lasting damage. I think it's his curse bubbling up to heal him faster than we can hurt him. All we can do now is see the putrid dead flesh has been bloated by his curse. If we can't cut the curse off its source, we'll never be able to dispel the calamity. Alright, that'll stop bleeding for now. Well, well, rotten or not, he's still a god, ain't he? No, it's because he's gone rotten that he's much harder to get rid of. Now that we've tried fighting him, I say for sure that he's got a divine core. Divine core, as in the soul of a divine spirit, but he's been dead for... Something must have gotten inside his heart, some kind of real, special sacrifice that curses the fairy's whole existence. I bet it was that sacrifice that reanimated his corpse and sent him up this... It was that sacrifice that reanimated his corpse and sent him to service. Chipping away won't do anything. We need to completely annihilate him. But we don't have anything that powerful enough. Sure we do. It's been around a long time. The 12 lances embedded in Camelot's main gate. If we activate them, we beat him. That's what we're fighting for here. It's not quite enough to just prevent Camelot from being destroyed. Our job is to stall Shonos here and get rid of this... Get to the Guardian of the Sacred Sword of the Throne. Now they've done that, all that's left to see how this journey ends. Huh? Mash, where's Castoria? She's not here. I don't see her anywhere. She must have slipped away while I wasn't looking. So that's why. Ah, because she knew she'd be slipping away. Mash, hold the line. Right, we have to do whatever we can. Re-engaging. I'll block all of his attacks myself. Only death remained in Camelot. There were no fairies, no humans, no bodies, no Moors. She ran through the halls devoid of all life where countless splendors came to an abrupt end. Having just jumped off the storm border and landed on its unbroken walls, she now ran for the throne as fast as her legs could carry her. No, I'm sure it was this way. Come on, Castoria, don't stop to think. You've already been here with Master. Just trust your gut and keep going. She gasped her breath, but not because she was tired from the earlier battle. A spurred her almost enormous beast outside, separated from her to her by a wall of stone. Show noticed the enshrined deity and his eerily quiet curse that seemed to oppress the very air. I know it's here. It's crawling from the bottom of the pit right now. Before they set off the spirit cavern, they crawled up from the pit and completely destroyed Camelot. It had arrived 1 hour after Cyrano's first appeared. There wasn't much time left. 10 minutes at best, 5 at worst. Before time ran out, she had to reach Morgan's throne, learn its workings, change it to something she used herself. Before, she would probably have said it was impossible and look for another way, but now she knew she could pull it off. She was a different person after coming back from the site of selection. Now she was more than half fantastical. Now she knew about the king who would one day draw the sword of selection, sacred sword in hand, guide Britain to the future. Oh, thank you for the follow. Oh, Pyramid. I stream just about anything, healer, so feel free to stop by anytime something catches. Got yourself. Indeed. I was just sorry. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, feel free to come by anytime I'm playing something that catches your interest. Dear, guide Brent into the future, and she knew that she herself was an intrinsic part of the concept. Someone who stands at the edge of the world rather than its center. A beacon at its furthest point, no matter what sort of end may be upon us. She remembers something her magecraft mentor had taught her. An old nostalgic story, a story of a nameless hero from countless hopes. There, I recognize this intersection. It's just up this way. There it is, the throne Morgan. Thing even just did it. I typically, I don't know anything. I typically stream it anytime the new story chapter drops, so I was pretty excited to get to this one. I'd heard good things about it. Unfortunately, some things I was completely unable to avoid getting spoiled on, but most of it I was able to get in there. Morgan's Throne. Ask the Savior's masterpiece, designed to gather and store magical energy from every fairy in Britain and to operate the sacred lances. Huff, huff. Behind the throne lay the terrace overlooking the pit. There she saw the enshrined deity, simply there, body made up of 14,000 years worth of dead flesh, wordlessly towering over her. Her breath caught in her throat, just the sight of it filled with dread. His silence and all it conveyed made her flinch. This is, you're a good ways away then. This is Lostbelt 6, the most recent story chapter, and we're at the tail end of it here now too, so there's gonna be lots of spoilers. He was right to be angry, he was right to curse fairies. He'd reached out to them in good faith. They tricked and killed him as a result. They robbed his beloved priestess of their life and her dignity and flourished for 14,000 years. The calamities were not born of hatred, but obligation, fueled by rage and grief. Here's their way of saying these creatures cannot be allowed to remain free. As the one who inadvertently helped them survive, he now sought to destroy the world. Your anger may be justified. Lostbelt's another story, the same story. Basically, the singularities and the incineration of humanity, that's basically the first major story arc. And the Lostbelt is the second one, the one right after that. So, yeah, we're in the part 6 of the second major story arc of the game. So you're a long ways away, so you don't have to worry about this if you don't want. Yeah, I was able to beat the fight with Queen Sheba. I really need better single-target servants. It's a little goofy that a single-target caster was my strongest there, but, well, that's how it goes sometimes, isn't it? Your ranking may be justified, but this is in the way. If you decide that Britain's a land of sinners and not a single one is untainted, then you should have made a system to forgive sins, not just punish them. You should have chosen a sentence and given them a chance to serve it. That means Godia is dead, right? Supposedly, yeah. But yeah, he's the final boss, the main story there, so... After that, there's Epic of Remnant, which is a side story. You can skip that one if you want. And then Lostbelt is the main story arc that's going on right now here in the English server. For that, alright. By all means, feel free to stick around. Just be aware, like I said, just be aware there's going to be spoilers then, because this is really deep into the story. She turned her attention to the throne, becoming one of the 12 sacred lances embedded within the gate. You trying to beat Singular's story. Good luck. Some of them can be a bit rough, but there's a lot of popular ones to borrow you can go. Without sleeping. Oh my, don't develop a self-destructive habit. It's not worth it. 22 hours, huh? Ooh, ouch. Playing. Well, good luck. The curse is coming. The curse is coming. It's crawling from beneath the ground at the speed akin to lightning. Sensing the curse may be about to end, countless rancorous voices clamored around her as if to try and stop her. Fairy deaths piled up endlessly over the course of 14,000 years, rush upward in a torrent. Wow, she really was a genius. But right now her mind was consumed not with the encroaching threat but praise for Morgan. Morgan wasn't just an incredibly talented fairy, she'd also made a brilliant idea to make all of Camelot into a giant mystic code. And even though the spell to make it was utterly massive, its connections to her magical circuits and energy circulation were absolutely perfect. It was the work of a prodigy without equal. It was no wonder she'd been the greatest of the Avalon Lefay. Problem was, the whole system was designed with the intention that said genius would be its operator. A surge of magical energy ran through her body. Lacking sufficient circuits to use all 12 sacred lances, the magical energy flowing from the throne burst around her in a shower of sparks. It dilated her blood vessels, nerves, bones, muscles from the inside out. Her consciousness shorted out, her eyeballs ruptured, her lungs burned. All she could do to keep her knees, it was all she could do to keep her knees from going out. This isn't so bad. This time she wasn't gonna run away. She knew it was gonna work. Ringo Miniads locked and loaded. Roundtable lances weighing anchor. Great anti-calamity rite open. O lands of salvation. Become the reign of Orkney and wash away all sins. Well, I was right. Our initial attack had completely no hold against him, but we had the weapon to defeat him out this entire time. Gah. The lances had the necessary firepower. They had the strength to turn even Camelot's impenetrable walls into dust. They still weren't enough. They were still far too weak to destroy all the layers of curse that had accumulated over the millennia. If any fairy had been there, they probably would have laughed. They probably would have said something about how even the great High Queen Morgan's weaponry couldn't kill a god. No, it's not that. I'm just not using it right. She narrowed her now useless essence, all the blood she had just coughed up. Her anger was not directed at fairies or even at Sheranos. She was angry at herself for holding back, for still clinging to the possibility of going home. Don't you dare, we should stick on just a little longer. You've already had plenty of time. I was supposed to disappear at the site of selection. The only reason I lasted this long is because my companion sacrificed himself to give me this extra bit of time. And use everything, every last bit of myself, both past and present. That's the whole reason I've come this far. Ringo Maniad was Morgan's spell. Of course she couldn't make full use of it. Sacred lances may be beyond her control, but she could still make use of their structure. If they were essentially cannons, and all she had to do was load them with a different type of ammunition. Having returned from the site of selection, she was now the essence of the sacred sword. So the new spell must be change the circuit of from the throne to my heart. Change the magical energy used from Camelot to Avalon Lefay. Change Rungo Miniad to Excalibur. Tens of trillions of cells burned with pain, as though the entire universe had been set ablaze. A number of cursed hands stretched towards her, making their way to the throne room's terrace. In her mind, accelerated through intense pain, a single moment lasted for eternity, as she slowly recalled the memories of what she used to be. Morgan, my rival from a far-off world. She remembered what happened in Norwich. She did not regret what she did or didn't do. She just remembered what she saw, how gloriously bright it was. I was never able to beat you, not until the very end. I couldn't show you who I was with my strength or even say anything back to you. But now, at the very end, I begin one final chance. A chance to use every bit of my remaining energy to show you who I am. So, did you find the reason you were looking for? I think this is the first story chapter the player character is directly spoken like this. But it's absolutely essential. No, I never did become who I wanted to be. But I will take my place here anyway, and not for the sake of cold, merciless queen who only wanted to protect this throne, but to honor the life of an incredible savior she once was. I'm gonna finish the job you should have done 2,000 years ago. She looked up, facing the looming sin. She summoned the last of her strength as the Avalon the Fae, all the magical energy holding her together. O sacred sword, reveal thyself. Hear me, enshrined God, and forgive us our sins. The Excalibur! All that remained was her mistletoe staff, rest across the winter throne like a sword, its purpose fulfilled. 12 charges of an extremely powerful spell were just fired from the main gate simultaneously. They were all direct hits. Sonos' spirit origin signal just changed from negative to positive. 90% of his outer layer curse to blast away. I can see something. His divine core. I'm sensing a ton of godly energy from it. So that's it. Sharanos' core. Well done, Castoria. Is it just me, or is his nearby flesh wriggling around like it's still trying to regenerate? Well, then we have to shoot it before it does. Oh, it's not just you. It's already started to regenerate. Not even Ringo Maniacs don't have to beat him. We only have 6 minutes left to his back to his old self. What do we do, Captain? If that's a divine core, normal weapons won't be able to destroy it. Da Vinci, order the rest of the crew to abandon ship. You can use the Shadow Border to escape. The Nemo series and I will stay here in command room. As soon as we confirm you're all safe, we're going to ram the Storm Border into the divine core at full speed. What? But that'd be... No, absolutely not. I can't let you throw your lives in the ship away. There's no time to argue. This isn't up for discussion. Come on, Master. You need to hurry up and... No, that won't be necessary. Now that Shonos' divine core is exposed, the operation's played its part. Master, would you hurry to the deck? Mash is waiting there for you. You can't slay a god without your command spells. Catch my drift? Right, on my way. That's right. What I suspected all along is indeed the case. The target's divine core is finally exposed, but the rates regenerating won't be long before it's hidden again. Castoria gave us an incredible opportunity, and I had the means to take advantage of it, but now there's nothing I can do, all because I'm too much of a coward. If I hadn't run away from my choices, my responsibilities, I could have... Man, you're really broken up with that, I was telling you. I get it. You were running away from fighting back then. No matter how brave or heroic you were at your core, you still hated fighting. That hasn't changed. But what's changed is where you're looking now. This is Habitrot, no question about it. Now you know what you're fighting for and why, and now that means I don't have to keep holding on to this for you, huh? Habitrot. Yep, and I've got something that belongs to you, something you left behind after this was used at the castle in Sheffield. It's something that should never have existed in Britain, something you need to show who you are from now on. You said it was called the Black Barrel, correct? Don't forget it this time, Mash. Yeah, Beryl intended to steal it, but Habitat grabbed it and left before he saw anything. I knew it. We, as we are now, are hypothetical beings, all being created from the tree of emptiness of simulation. And we're going to move forward on the premise that it wasn't Mash who existed in the Fae era, but Galahad. Neither you nor I must remember anything about her. No way, I don't want to forget about Mash. She's going to go through something awful in the Era of the High Queen, right? I have to be there to help her. You're gonna be around the Era of the High Queen too, right? They'll figure something out as well. I know an ice coffin. I'll ask Grimir to make the same kind as MASH. I haven't kept my promises to make her best bridal dress ever. Once the world changes to the Era of the High Queen, every loose end will disappear. You can't go from one era to the next, at least not while retaining your memories. Even I could never do that. It would lead to contradictions. If I added this loop's knowledge of myself in the era of High Queen, I'd no longer be able to exist. We have no choice but to forget about MASH. If, even knowing all that, you still want to remember her, you'll need to steel yourself. So long as you retain memories of MASH, you will not be meant to exist in this world. Your entire life up until MASH is sent here from Norwich will disappear, and no one will be able to speak the first Tamlin's name. Let me be clear, no one in the era of the High Queen can ever know you are one of my first knights. And if even one person realizes you're actually Totoro, you will vanish from the era of the High Queen. You are from a fantastical Lostbelt, and as such, there's no way for you to decide in the reality of a singularity. So I'm going to erase all of Mash's memories of you. Everything from the moment she meets you to the moment she enters her coffin. So long as she has no memory of you, you should be able to live in the era of High Queen as well. Which is why you'll have to stay away from Mash once she's been freed from her coffin. If she remembers you, you'll vanish from the era of the High Queen. You'll disappear when the morning lark sings, just like a summer night's dream. Or as you could say, a midsummer night's dream. A midsummer night's dream as in the Shakespeare play, not mid as in, well, let's be honest, most use it to mean bad without actually calling it bad. But no, Habitra, how could I have forgotten about you? I'm so sorry I didn't remember. It's so wonderful seeing you again. I can't believe this is happening. No, you've been with me all this time, watching over me. Yep, I always keep my promises, you know. Here, this is yours. I've been hiding it with my spinning wheel this whole time. Never even noticed, did ya? You've gotten the back barrel. Then you must have come floating down above. You must... Yep, I stashed it away. Quick as a wink while Barrel was yammering on. Pretty impressive, huh? Must be as fast as ever. I had no idea. Albatross. Right, the timeline always tries to correct problems. It's like the timeline of Futurama. It has to delete anything that doesn't fit the timeline. The morning like is singing, my dream is coming to an end. That's okay, I mostly did what I wanted to do, and I long since kept my important promise. So this is where old Habitrust says goodbye. I wish I could have been your happy ever after. And hey, knowing you guys, you'll be fine. In fact, I bet you'll always be perfect. You'll always have perfect weather in every single one of your anniversaries. This is because I remembered you. Why are you disappearing? Why? Why do you have to do this for me? I don't deserve it. Sure you do, and even if you didn't, so what? I don't care. I just want you to be happy. Everyone did the best they could, right? Ask, Hector, Reinek, even Grimir was a pretty good guy. They might all be gone now, but we still had a great journey together. Besides, I'm a friend to brides everywhere. I want to make sure your future be a happy one. No, please, don't go. Take the memories back. I promise I'll remember you, please. Don't go. You more than anyone else. You put every one thing to make your dreams come true. Come on, you know that's not true. If you really want to pay me back, how about this? Remember me, remember Ask. Remember how beautiful Britain really was. I will, I promise. I so easily at this. Well, looks like we're out of time. Her true name is returned, Tamlin Totoro. I can see the master running this way as well. Go put Sharonus out of his misery. He's suffering too in his own way. Consider this a fresh start for the dreams that await you, no matter how hard to say goodbye. There'll always be something wonderful to look forward to. Always. Now go on, hold your head high. Show this old Tamlin what a badass you truly are. Of course I will. Just watch me, Totoro. Ash, I've got a command spell. Right, Master, I won't run away again. As a knight who's completed her pilgrimage, I'm going to use everything I can to crush the calamity plaguing Britain. Here we go. Time for the final strike. Target elimination confirmed. You see that happen? Uh, uh, Thank you. Thank you, Tamlin Totoro. Thank you, Habitraw the Spinner. I'm so proud you chose me to be your dream. Goodbye. May the flowers bless you too. The sky is black to total twilight. All that's left now is attention on the deck. Master, Mash, we've confirmed Chernos has disappeared, and the curse spraying from the pit has ceased. We're even able to get readings to the bottom of the pit now, where it seemed bottomless earlier. Every calamity in the British Lostbelt, all threats to proper human history are now defeated. Once we've refueled the storm border, we'll head back to the waters on the western coast. Then as soon as we confirm the British Lostbelt is safe, we'll return to Novum Chaldea. Great work, you two. I'll be keeping a speed low for a while, so take your time coming back inside if you'd like. Phew, I think we finally pulled it off. I'll admit, I was freaking out a little when not even the Ringo Miniads finished him off, but you guys showed... Then you guys showed up with a god-killing weapon that easily put Muramasa to shame. I just wish Kastori could be here too. Well, yeah, sure. It'd been great if we could have won without any sacrifices, but things don't usually go that way. Most of the time, you lose something or someone along the way. This might not have been any different, but personally, I think those two went out happy, knowing they did everything they possibly could. That's all because they believed you guys would win this thing, because they wanted to see you do that, more than anyone. They put their trust in you and thought of you as their friends. If you're gonna remember them, then remember them for that. Don't forget, while your battle doesn't end here in Britain, you've still got this foreign god thing to contend with. I know, we're grateful to Castor and Habitrol. Thank you, Grimir the Sage. By the way, I couldn't ask this during battle, but is your eye alright? Oh, sure. Just what I need to put on a truly mythical performance. Besides, having only one eye, it made my magecraft sharper than ever. Right, now that your job is done, you don't need be here anymore, so your body is fading. Indeed, looks that way. The god of wisdom entrusted me with ensuring Chaldea got their hands on the sacred sword. As a Celtic heroic spirit, I also got to be there for Sheerness's final moments. So now my role in this Lost Belt is complete. As the only help here from proper human history, I'm glad I managed to save Haste. Wait, the only one from proper human history. Thank you, Ku. What are you going to do now? Are you going to be registered as a caster? It's Grimnir, alright? Now that you know my deal, I'd rather you call me Grimnir from now on. But anyway, what you guys won, and not just me, the God of Wisdom says so too. And if I can keep this spirit origin after going back to the throne, I'll pop Chaldea as a caster. I'll see you guys then. I have the feeling I'll be seeing you all again soon. Sadly, he's a story locked 3 stars, so he's a pain in the ass to get more copies of. That goes Grimir too. That means all that's left now is... The fact that it's red is very imposing. Usually it isn't red. Alright, it's time to put this Lost Belt. No, this Lost World behind us. The calamities have dealt the Isle a critical blow. There can't be many survivors left. Still, at least it hasn't been completely destroyed. I wish we could see Britain get back on its feet before we left to Chaldea, but... Yeah, that'd be nice. Wait, what? All the flames and curses disappeared, but chunks of the ground are breaking apart. In fact, if anything, attention, I'm picking up massive gravity fluctuations throughout Britain. The ground's floating up in the air, even though there's nothing causing gravity up there. What the heck's going on? This doesn't make any sense. Everything's falling up? It's worth. Sheba's detecting a level 1 threat. I can't see what's causing it, but things are going now. The whole Earth's gonna be gone in 1 hour. The collapse has started. How is this happening? But we dealt with calamities. There shouldn't be anything left that could possibly threaten Britain. So why is the collapse beginning now? There's no sign of a new enemy anywhere. Sure there is. You just didn't notice it because you've been looking the whole time. Remember that Merle and Londinium? That was a depiction of the prophecy of destruction Sharoness's priestess made just as she was being dismembered. As the world grows newer, unbeknownst to all, its roots go older, until one day they'll be so brittle as to crumble with a bite from a single insignificant insect. That prophecy wasn't about Britain's future. What we're seeing now is what happens when the roots of even the strongest human history are gnawed through. Soon the entire planet will be gone, as though it never existed. Interesting. Why is the red? I knew it. Huh, you mean you've been on to me? Well, shucks, now I feel silly for biding my time for the perfect moment to make my reappearance. But really, so what? I never bothered to hide it from you in the first place. Of all my little pawns, you were by far the most insignificant. Oh, what's wrong, Blanca? Your pretty antenna stopped moving. Oh, I see. It's because you're dead. Were you taking all the Moor's poison being directed at me from all Britain in my place? Thanks, I guess. Not that it truly matters. Oberon? That's Oberon. He certainly does look like a part of a fairy king, but what's the meaning of this, Da Vinci? Your report said that one of your local collaborators, a proper human history servant, has been summoned by this land. But his spirit origin isn't from proper human history at all. For that matter, he's neither human nor fairy. In fact, he doesn't match any known life form. Does that mean he's an aberration, or, is that truly Oberon the Fairy King? Of course it is, believe me, I confirmed dozens of... Huh? I can't sense his magical energy on the border scanners. No, wait, I can, but it doesn't match our data. His spirit origin's changing literally every second. I don't believe it. There's no trust information about his spirit origin anywhere. Well, he did change classes over and over again. He may as well be invisible. There, but not there all at the same time. Then, who in the world is he? I just picked up a massive irregular space in northern Britain. No way, when did this show up? My apologies, but I don't know what you mean by irregular space. Could you be more specific? Look, it's a weird thing there. What is that? Is it actually alive? I'm sorry, but we can't explain it. We just can't. We've never seen anything like that creature anywhere in the world. I've even tried firing a sensor pulse at it, but I didn't get a single reading. I can tell it's really bad news, though. Sheba's gone pitch black. It's hard to believe, but according to this, we're already done for. Return impossible. Destination permanently unmoored. Eternal voyage in progress. What kind of statuses are these? Captain, we're scared. Didn't we already sink without realizing it? Yeah, something pulsating in the north. I can only describe as a hole in space, but we can't view it on the monitor. Master, can you see it from on the deck? Yeah, I've been seeing it for a while now. It's a massive worm-like creature? What? What's that, Master? Some kind of black haze is stuck in the ground. No, it's eating the island. What in the world could that horrible-looking creature be? My guess is... it's an insect of some sort. That's right, just a single insect. Though as you can see, it's actually a conceptual insect, an infinite hole that will destroy Britain and then turn the planet inside out. You can think of it as an endless hollow if you'd like. It's also me, even though I can't really tell which one of us is real in just the shadow. Tell me your true name, Oberon. Well, since you asked, I'll be happy to oblige. That arm, so he was the one who killed Murian, and set her up for failure as well. Senpai, Oberon's form, no, his very spirit origin is... I swear, these fairies are just unbelievable. First, they kill a god and use his body to create a small island to replace the land that disappeared because of their screw-up. Then, still not satisfied, they kill uncountable numbers of their own kind to fill the sea and make entire landmass from their corpses. The sheer audacity and greed is enough to make me sick, don't you agree, Master? Even as a human, you'd think they're pretty awful, so imagine how disgusted the original Britain must be with them after it was returned to nothing. No wonder it sent calamities after them to try and wipe them out. Oberon. Anyway, Sherenos was not part of it. In some way, he was actually trying to protect the fairies. The only reason I made it up to the surface now is because he's finally gone. Morgan ensured Fairy Britain's creation by sealing Sherenos away instead of defeating him. I honestly wasn't sure what to do. I certainly had no means of defeating Morgan myself, so I waited. I waited for a human to defeat her to appear. I waited for someone who could pop the lid off Sherenos and finally get rid of him. The Child of Prophecy's prophecy was just the chance I was waiting for. It was even kind of an amusing idea, so I helped it along a little. I did my part to ensure the Child of Prophecy would set off on her journey and successfully defeat her pilgrimage. So this must have been the truth that Morgan, and for that matter, Knockin' were hiding. All so that you could be the ones to ruin everything you're working towards. Alright, Oberon, go ahead and tell us your true name already. Gladly. I've taken the form of Oberon the Fairy King. Fantasy, a fiction created by your very own proper human history. I'm the embodiment of Britain's will, the very will that wished for its own destruction when the age of mystics ended. My name is Vortigern. Oberon Vortigern, to be more specific. I'm the Abyssal Worm who destroyed Fairy Britain, with a little help from all of you. True name, Disillusion. Pretender. Oberon, Vortigern. And so his third ascension and final artwork is truly unlocked. Oh my, that's rather big, isn't it? Darn, and here I thought the stuff that qualified for the Vortag had already ended. But no, we have that giant worm insect thing. And Vortigern there said it might even be his true body. A Midsummer Night's Dream. The Isle of Britain was collapsing. All the buildings of fairies built in imitation of human civilization. All the corpses heaped up from ages past. Those freshly killed in the calamities. The insects sucked more than the air with every second and swallowed them whole. Northern islands dissipated like snow. The southern lands drifted away like ash. Those few who somehow managed to survive all joined hands and fell in the void. It was as though everything in Fairy Britain had been no more than a single night's dream. Still can't identify the unknown servant's spirit origin pattern. It doesn't match any of the 7 main classes or even any of the extra ones. I've never seen anything like this class before. What is that thing, Holmes? I can only confirm that this class is unknown. There are those who serve as inspiration to others and usher in a new ages by doing good, heroes. And there are those who help good things come about by serving as necessary obstacles, anti-heroes, villains, the counter to heroes. Among those, there were doubtless some anti-heroes who did create great feats through treachery. An imposter, no, someone who achieved greater power and feats, and even one who is genuine by deceiving others about the nature of their very soul. Such an anti-hero would not be an avenger or a ruler, nor would they be an entity from the outer zone, nor a distinct separate personality within a person. Uh, Entity from the outer zone is foreigner, where how you get foreigner class servants, and a distinct separate personality within a person is an alter ego. No, they would be a pretender, a heroic spirit mired in falsehoods, who fight entire worlds rather than people or beasts. Indeed, I can think of no better name for Oberon. Come the hell on, what the world's going on here? The boy won, Carlite came through with flying colors. I know it may not be possible for our world to coexist with this Lostbelt, but we never want to destroy it. We saved Britain, damn it. So why is this happening? Answer me, Holmes, when the world's that monster? I suspect it's the very concept of emptiness. It may seem like a living creature, but it has no muscles, no bones, no organs. What appears to be its mouth is actually a hole. Though it appears to be sucking the ground in truth, sucking up the ground, in truth, the ground's falling up towards it. Imagine a bathtub filled with water. Now imagine the world without water, and the creature is the drain. What happens to the water in a bath once the plug is removed from a drain? Well, it's the water, right? It'll make a little whirlpool and swirl. But you're saying that thing isn't sucking everything up, but indeed, we, or rather the very space we inhabit, is falling towards it. Even if we're able to escape our present location, it would achieve nothing. Now that the plug's been removed, everything on the planet will go into that hole, the very epitome of a pill fall. I simply never imagined there could be a hole in the entire world it could fall into. Vortigern, the cowardly king who killed Uther, King Arthur's father. Then you must be King Arthur's archenemy from this Lost Belt. Oh no, I couldn't care less about King Arthur. Think bigger, Mash. I'm humanity's archenemy. Vortigern was Britain's destiny incarnate in your world too, right? I'm not about to allow humanity to have their own age, not on my watch. If humans are just going to trample over Britain's mystics, I'd rather end it before the Age of Mystics comes to a close at all. I'd like to go on a high note in essence, even if it means, killing myself. Oh yeah, you don't have to say it, believe me, I get it. There's nothing worse than when the thing you hate becomes super popular. Not that it matters, since when King Arthur comes along to stop you in your tracks. That's a problem with your world. Neither the good nor the evil ones are willing to go far enough. Want to destroy humanity, you need to destroy the world itself. Your Vortigern failed because he couldn't cross that line. So why do you want to destroy all of humanity? They disgust me. What of it? Wouldn't a bunch of vermin skidding around the corners of your room disgust you too? Disgusting. You think this Britain's disgusting? The fairy and the humans who live in this land are all disgusting. Oh, you mean you actually like the MASH? Wow, that is really something. And don't take it personally, it's just not just this place that disgusts me, it's just everything. To me, even your world looks like a giant pile of shit. Well, I mean, aren't you basically a fly? Wouldn't that be good for you? Well, that was vulgar, wasn't it? Not how the Fairy King should speak, is it? Sorry, I'll be more careful in the future. I think you could forgive me this once, especially after we've all been through together. In fact, tell you what, I apologize for everything I just said. If you'd rather, we can just, forget this whole thing happened. Wait, what? I understand, Masher. Seems like Oberon was being completely sincere. Yeah, stop messing with Mash. Why, whatever do you mean? You only ever tell lies. So you do get it. I'm so glad to hear that. You're right, I'm a liar. I never told others the truth, not even once. I was deadly serious about destroying Britain, and I relied on you most to make that happen. I mean, think about it. If someone told you to do something as huge as destroy Britain, where do you even begin? I was as clueless as the next person. I didn't know what I was going to do. The more I thought about it, the more I realized even if I could defeat Morgan, it wouldn't be enough. I would need so many pieces to fall into place to bring down Britain. Morgan and Chaldea alone just weren't going to cut it. Everything had to happen at the right time. I'd only get a single chance. Even I had no choice but to watch my every step carefully. But then when I saw you on that beach, I instantly realized that guy's a total moron, the perfect performer. I just know he's gonna make all my dreams come true. I truly believe that from the bottom of my heart. You were the worst and best spectator I could hope for, the one I knew would bring everything to a spectacular end. So, which is a performer or spectator? Those are completely different things. Ah, fine, I take it back. You're a nitpicky critic, and why, thank you. Anyway, my intuition was right. You lived up to my expectations and then some. So much I wouldn't have minded letting you live. Except I kinda have to destroy Chaldea now, too. Vortigern's goal is to ensure this fault Britain finally disappears, since it's hung around far too long after his death. But me, my goal is to wipe out humanity. And Chaldea's whole deal is protecting proper human history. That kinda makes us mortal enemies. So I'm gonna kill you here, so you can't change things later. I see, so the Abyssal Worm is falling towards us. I guess it would have to go on the offensive since we're not getting sucked in. What the hell? I can't put any distance between that no matter how hard I push it. Captain Holmes, hell, even Shelby, alright. Get Master and Mash back inside. Crap, we're not gonna make it. The collapse is coming straight for us. We can't get away, it's gonna swallow us. This was not how I envisioned things going. Damn it, our sensors stopped working. I can't tell what's going on outside anymore. Hell, it's so dark in here, I can't even tell what's going on inside. There's no sound, there's light. What can we do, Captain? What could we possibly do against... Block the deck's gravity, point the bow straight up, and set the engines to the second stage. If that thing's trying to make us fall in, we'll have to rise away from it. Even if we're in total darkness, even if we're inside Endless Hollow, I'm not giving up until our engines do. All hands, maintain battle stations. Creatures causing this collapse may still be out there, but so are the Master and Mash. And knowing those two, they'll find a way out of this. True. There's no problem we can't defeat by punching it hard enough. When I was born, I couldn't even breathe. Not so much as a single toe was truly alive. I was a rotten mass of fluid and chrysalis. Under those circumstances... so we're gonna get the true origin behind his summoning. Can you imagine how I felt when I woke to the morning sun's rays? I was in the autumn woods in the outskirts of fairy Britain. The autumn woods, full of fairies who'd been bullied, persecuted, and nowhere else to go. The only thing to do there was die. Here's there among those who didn't belong anywhere else, among those who were hated and forgotten, and now with nothing left to do but die. And my chrysalis suddenly appeared. My chrysalis looked just like a fairy, but it wasn't. It was a device Britain itself created to bring about its own end. I can't believe this timeline's still hanging on more than 10,000 years after it died. It's sick. I hate everything that lives on this damn island. I just want to erase it from existence. That's all I am, a single insect born from this island's own excretory hatred of living creatures. Ah. Of course, as an insect born of excrement, my birth was a wretched affair. My chrysalis appeared both pitiful and beautiful, so the fairies must have thought I was their king. They gathered around and watched over my chrysalis until it stood up on its own. Oh, God, that was disgusting. Now that it was standing up, it was a chrysalis no longer. It was the perfect fairy tale king, the very sort these forests had long awaited. For it looked just like the fairy king depicted in a famous, talented, and somewhat mean-spirited author. First the king of the moors, now this. Huh, so I'm a ghost liner, a servant now. I guess as long as they're born from people's desires, doesn't matter whether a servant's original is real or fake. Turned out the fairy named Oberon existed both in proper human history and fairy Britain, but this Oberon pretending to be king was a creature composed entirely out of lies. Everything he said was untrue thanks to the underlying premise that it was all just part of a single night's revelry. It's amazing, everything they say or do ultimately becomes twisted. I love you became I don't love you, I don't love you becomes I don't even care about you. That's just who Oberon was. Given his nature's heroic spirit, there's nothing he could do about it. Oh well, it's fine. I was already planning on lying my teeth through my teeth all the time anyway. That said, this is all because Britain gets floating in from the outside. For someone who's supposed to hate proper human history, Morgan really seems to have a paradoxical and healthy love for it. So the Fairy King was born. As luck would have it, it was right when the Child of Prophecies poem was becoming the hottest topic in fairy society. The king already knew a good deal about proper human history, but this time he made sure to do his homework extra thoroughly. He knew the story of King Arthur, who Morgan was wary of, so he pretended he would make use of the Fairy of Paradise. Decided he'd make use of the Fairy of Paradise, the Avalon Fae who had appeared somewhere in Britain. When I was born, I couldn't even breathe. Not so much as a single toe was truly alive. I was a rotten mass of fluid within a chrysalis, and from inside of it, all I could see was wriggling insects like a sea of living rubbish. Oberon was born from Britain's death throes. He didn't love any of the island's creatures. His only thought, upon being informed of his duty to destroy Britain in accordance with the island's wishes, was, isn't there anyone else who could do it? Oh well, now that I've been born, I guess I don't have a choice. Damn it, my body still won't move. Your breath feels like it's gonna kill me. Just move my toes makes me feel like I'm gonna jump out of my skin. The worst part is, just being alive makes me sick. As a chrysalis, Oberon could not close his eyes, and that's why he could not look away from them. Wriggling, wriggling. For over half a year, all Oberon could do was stare as they wriggled right in front of him. Ugh. Oberon was born from filthy sludge. Even inside his chrysalis, there was still no more than he was still no more than a sludge. Ah, so the goop inside is technically the true Oberon. The Fairy King outside is just a chrysalis. Everywhere he looked, everything he saw looked like putrid sludge. He was disgusted by the sight of these vagrant weaklings clinging to an unfounded hope. He was disgusted by those starved wretches now depending on him for help after they'd been endlessly tricked and deceived by everyone else. He was disgusted being treated like a king by those creatures who could only crawl, squirm, and wiggle. Above all, he was disgusted with himself for being at the very bottom of such an awful situation. He felt like a butterfly corpse being swarmed by ants, the kind of thing that happens in trash heaps in the deepest dregs of the world. Pure loathing grew in his chest, but not for any one person in particular. He didn't despise the insects swarming him, or even himself for being swarmed. It was everything. It was the structure of the world itself. That is what Oberon determined had to go. But never mind his backstory now. Hang in there, Master. You're almost at its end. You still gotta turn things around spectacularly at the very last moment, don't you? Star. Star. Huh? You're alive? That's strange. You do know we're in the abyss right now, right? Oh, I see. Did you already overcome your lost will? Oh, I guess that would explain how you open your eyes. I think it's just gonna make your death that much more painful. Although, but hey, you do you. First of all, where's Mash? Why, she's sleeping next to you, silly. She may not as well not be here, though. She's not waking up. Since you're waking up, why don't we talk for a bit? You must be pretty tired, right? Here, have some food. It's one of those ration things. Found it on your ship while I was doing a little wandering inside. I see. Because we defeated the Garden of Lost Will before, it can't happen again. Well, are you wondering why I'm being nice to you? I'm not. I only went to your ship to kill your companions. Kill Mash first, you know. You're gonna die soon, too. You guys are falling in an endless hollow right now. The Abyssal Worm's thorax is infinite. You see, there's no destination here, no endpoint. Everything it swallows just continues to fall forever. And since it goes on infinitely, there's no entrance or exit. Once you're swallowed, it's over. It doesn't matter how strong or accomplished you might be, nothing can escape this hollow. Not unless you kill me. But nobody's gonna wake up in there. They're all dreaming of falling. If anyone did manage to wake up, they'd be able to see just like you can, but most of them will simply keep falling. Frankly, I think you would have been happier that way too. Staying constant here will just make the rest of your short life hell. Think about it, even after you die, you're gonna keep falling forever in this darkness. Isn't that horrifying? So that would mean you're stuck in this hell too. True, it does. But now the Abyssal Worm has manifested, there's no avoiding the world being destroyed. So, in here, out there, it doesn't matter to me. My life is already hell. Anyway, there's nothing you can do now. You can't even perform a simple summon in here. There's nothing like this place in human history, so you won't find a single heroic spirit record here. So how can you summon something that doesn't exist? You'll go either mad from endless falling, eventually close your eyes and slip back into dreaming about falling. So which shall it be? If you decide to rather sleep, just let me know. Of course, if you still want to save the world, you don't have any time left to think about it. Now that Britain's Lost World's gone, we're back in the standard time stream. You should have Chaldea observe the planet disappearing in 24 hours, right? They're right. You haven't even gotten a minute to spare at this point. If you want to save the world, you have to fight me, and if you do, I'll just kill you. I don't know about you, but that doesn't sound like a great way to die to me. Couldn't agree more. That's why I'm gonna have to kick your ass. Wait, you actually tried to punch me? How'd you ever make it this far with a skull so thick? Oh well, if you're so eager to die, I'm happy to help you with that. I do enjoy watching people fight battles they haven't got a chance of winning. Oh, I do have a chance. Where? Help will be by any moment now. Weren't you listening? I told you. No one's coming. Well, like you said, we're just bystanders, correct? Caster, to me. Wait. You. No, 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 no. It can't be. She's finally in her final ascension. I've heard the foreign mage's summons have come to his aid, in accordance with our contract. If this battle is not to punish Britain, but to save the world, thou cross even the ends of time to deliver the sword to his hands. The final boss fight. The true final boss this time. I heard the ringing of a bell, not the coercive bell I'd heard countless times before, but a kind, familiar bell that called to you, that believed in you. This is the storm I was always running in, a maelstrom of wickedness, a crucible of hearts laid bare, a storm of cold, dark, ear-splitting voices, no different from a drainage ditch. No, no, make it stop, make it stop. I don't know how many times I thought I couldn't go on or wished for death to free me. The only reason I was able to keep running without losing my way was because that light was there. The pale blue light of a tiny, far-off star shining somewhere beyond the storm. When I failed, I picked myself up even as I cried. When I was exhausted, I turned my head skyward. No matter where I looked, the star was always there, shining in the distance. A flicker of virtue among a sea of vice. A bright future awaiting me. Just knowing that could possibly be true. No, even if it wasn't, doesn't matter. For you, a star is just a bright light. That was all it had to be to become your goal. Knowing someone else was out there, somewhere. Knowing that looking at that star was the only thing that gave you hope. There was the one thing that never changed, no matter how the storm raged. Right, that's right. That's all I had to keep me going. I was terrified of most things I didn't dare trust, but that star as a guiding light always encouraged me. You and that star may not have any connection, That star may never point your way or come down from the heavens to help you. Yeah, I don't care about Britain or the future. As long as that star is shining, I will never give up. No matter how much the world shook in storms or how much time was spent suffering then peace, the light always watched over you, ever since you were a child. It's the one thing in the storm that always shone bright. You didn't do this for society, for peace, or even yourself. That little star never lost its brilliance. It's the one thing I don't want to betray. You with the lost will. That's all over now. Except that Belle's timbre, finish your journey. Just like she can never be happy in that White Castle, your life cannot continue beyond this point. Continue down this path, and you, the one who chanted the king's name, will disappear. You won't be needed anymore. You truly do all that just for a lone star? It's such a silly, trivial thing. Like, not wanting to, quote-unquote, betray that beautiful star. Really worth going through with this? Ah. I hear the voices cursing me for bringing about Britain's end, voices that loathe me for fulfilling my duty from paradise. Thousands, tens of thousands of voices decrying me, millions of voices blaming me. That is vice. The fact is, there's no such thing as a star shining in a storm. That's why I can't save anyone besides myself. Not with a reason like that. Uh-huh. Who's there? Who's protecting me? You're not doing a very good job, but you're still stretching your hands out trying to help me. Someone who lost their life because of your capricious whims. Someone you've long since forgotten. Someone from the fringes who's just like you. Her name is... I see, not having a name really is such a terrible thing. In that case, how about this? I came with the idea now, but please, use my name. Astoria. Goodbye, I'll try a caster, both if you prefer. It's not like I'm going to use it anymore anyway, so go ahead and shout at the world for like here. Thank you, I promise I'll treasure it. And not just the name, I'll treasure your heart too. Ah. Her name was Hope. She'd found that star's light right at the very end. Wait, that was the fairy who died at the very start of the story. The first person who died in this story's true name was Hope. Isn't that poetic, I suppose? Given everything that's gone on in this Lostbelt, in this terrible timeline. She'd grown exhausted from always lifting everyone's spirits, but she never forgot to smile. She'd been protecting me all along, all because of that one impulsive act. Even now, she still believes in me, and all because of that silly, insignificant act. It wasn't anything special, even noble. To any outside observer, probably seems absolutely silly, but no, thank you for treasuring it. That's right, I don't have any amazing reasons either. I'm no different from her at all. I have nothing to be proud of, no actual skills worthy of praise. I don't think I'll ever find a reason others would envy for as long as I live, but even so, who cares? This is all the reason I need. I don't just want to betray the star, I don't just want to ban these feelings. Silly insignificant reasons like that, they've always been what we and you rely on to keep going. Even if you have to grin and bear it, even if it's just for your own satisfaction, even if you lack confidence and never figure out the answer, even if it's a reason anyone else think is silly, insignificant, it's the thing I can't believe in, the only thing I can believe in, the only thing keeping me going even now. Farewell, young you, now and forever. In time, the star beating within your chest, the timbre of bells resonate inside you. I've heard the foreign mage's summons and come to his aid in accordance with our contract. If this battle is not to punish Britain but to save the world, then I shall cross even the ends of time to deliver the sword to his hands. Are you freaking kidding me? I know I said that this is what you should be doing. But you seriously have to become a heroic spirit as an Avalon LaFay? I just can't believe it. Just how much of a knight are you? Still, showing up now is a little pathetic, don't you think? I mean, you already had your dramatic exit. I don't know if it's your future true form or you've become some kind of special guardian. Britain's gone, though. You lost. Your part in this play is long over. Performers like you can't cut it the first time around, have no business returning to the stage. That's true. There isn't anything here for me to protect anymore. Nonetheless, Fairy King Oberon, who desired Britain's destruction, I agree it is painful to witness a dead world being artificially kept alive. You're right to bring this one to end. I know, right? But you're wrong to try to end others that had nothing to do with it. Even if these fairies are beyond salvation, our future was devoid of hope, that doesn't give you the right to rob others of their present when the future lies ahead. That's an act of cowardice far more painful to witness than merely trying to escape destruction. Isn't that right, Oberon? Your actions have been dreadfully earnest and quite frankly pathetic. Dang, Castoria's not holding back. Where am I? Have I been? Oh, this is a surprise. Mash, you're awake. Yes, I have a very strange dream. It's hard to describe, but it felt like I was falling endlessly. Senpai, Castoria. Oh, great, now even Mash is awake. That must be Castoria's doing. Guess that means the one in the command room will be waking up too then. Fantastic. Mash, Master will fill you in later. Right now, we need your help. We're going to destroy the Abyssal Worm here at its source before it can spread well beyond Britain. Right, leave it to me. You're still just as quick to change gears as ever. Whatever, it's fine. You Chaldeans sure do love defeating your enemies, so if that's how you want to play, I'm game. I was just getting tired of the chatter anyway. I'd already told you enough about what I am. If we were in a play, this would be the grand finale. A shame no one's around to watch it. Oh well, I'll content myself with knowing it's a third-rate production no one wants to see anyway. Come on then, Master, your prize summons will work just fine now. Show me how proud you are to fight for humanity. Well, first, I want to ask you one last time. Why are you doing this? Why? To wipe everything clean is all. I thought I already said as much. Humans and fairies alike disgusted me more than I can say. That's why I'm getting rid of all, and I used all of you to do it. Why, you think this is supposed to be some kind of fun trip? If so, that's a damn tragedy. Everything I say is a lie. You shouldn't believe any of it. Peace in Britain, Castoria's mission, I didn't care about any of it. I'm sure you didn't, but even so. What about your own star, Titania? That's exactly what I hate about you. Bringing about the collapse, racing the twilight, that's all just a summer night's dream. My name is Oberon. Oberon Vortigern. I am the death waiting in opposition to all of you. I'm a threat to all humanity. I'm not like the beasts. I don't love anything, and I'll prove to you with this battle. Now, lift the curtain of this tragedy. This is where your pilgrimage comes to an end. Pretenders are a new class, but they have a weakness. A class that I don't use very often. I'm not a big fan of Abby, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend she's not going to be absolutely amazing against something weak to foreigners. Might as well bring a Berserker as backup, I guess. And indeed, I'll use as many revives as this battle takes. I've got plenty of these revival items. There's no point in holding back. Abyssal Worm. Oberon. Tender. Declaring slumber to you all. Fence down is perfectly acceptable. Yeah. Pretenders are the first class that foreigners have true class advantage of, so Abby will resist his damage as well as deal bonus. What am I doing? She has a full blue deck, so I might as well focus on that. Don't tell me you think you can win. Permanent attack down. That's going to be mildly frustrating to deal with. Attacking, decreased defense or NP gain on yourself when attacking. Abby has absolutely trash tier damage. This is going to suck. Alright, let's see here. Now, the reason I don't like to use Abby too much is she has horrible NP gains, and I like to use NPs a lot, as you probably noticed. It's why I use arts teams often. Galahad, designated. Oberon's NP is an AoE, so... I don't think he uses charge in this fight. Or at least I would assume not, since that reduces NP gain. But I guess we'll find out, won't we? Extraordinarily painful. We gotta protect Abby at all costs. First, we'll go with these two NPs to power it up. Actually, I should probably do it this way, so that we get 4... And I need to have it before Abby's NP, so that she gets the her attack buffs removed. Attack debuffs removed. Abby also removes all enemy buffs before dealing its damage, so... enemies cannot avoid taking damage from her. Well, of course, unless they're unremovable buffs, which is the case for Oberon's. Of course. Remove buff. Here we go. It's time to close the curtain. The tragic ends here. Invulnerability Pierce doesn't matter with Castoria's NP, but lie like Vortigern. The Enuma Dream. Devour the Twilight. Does it remove before or after damage? Ah, after damage. Remove her buffs. Chain error. Unfortunate. That change should work since this will remove the debuff, but... at least the nice thing about his NP is that he puts vulnerability on the targets, but... How bold of you. It's nauseating. Ah, so he can charge gain. Ha! Asshole tried to be a cheap shot of spamming his NP, but because I used Castoria's NP, everyone's protected. Guess I'm gonna have to lose this turn. He's going to spam his NP, isn't he? Debuff his defenses, increase everyone's NP. It only matters for herself, but... Here we go. This should do the trick. Historia will remove the attack debuffs, and then that should allow Abby to hit him at full power. I guess he has permanent Vuln Pierce so that his own NP's drawback won't work on us. Won't help us. Remove all buffs. At least I could remove some of his buffs there. There we go. Ha! Yeah, Sharonos was way harder. It's Lord Oberon. Everyone come quick. Lord Oberon has returned. Please tell us about the outside world. The ones outside who want to kill us. Oh. I'm back, everyone. Did you manage to survive the day again? Oh, you already burned to death? Gotcha. Well, that's okay. It was gonna happen eventually. I'll tell you about the outside somewhere else. Honestly, I haven't got any new stories anyway. Oh, it's you. Oh, sorry. Was I sleeping? Seriously, just how shameless are you, bastard? Alright, well there I go again. No more foul language from me. What are you doing here anyway? Did I fall asleep where we were fighting? That's fine, this is all just a dream anyway. How about one last cup of tea before you go? I really haven't got anything left to say. I already told you everything about my goal, what I'm really like, how things got to this point. So you don't see what reason you could have to stick around here anymore. Not yet, you still haven't told me how you really feel. Are you kidding me? You really are an idiot, aren't you? Even I'm not this bad. I bet insects with better memories than you. He did say he lied about everything, and theoretically, that could include his true motivations anyway. Hey, you're the one who said you're a liar, right? Alright, you got me there. Well played. You're right, I do feel strong about some things. Well, a lot of things, actually. Vortigern was Britain's destiny incarnate, and I was born as part of him. I'm not just Vortigern, though. I'm Oberon, too. Did I ever tell you about what the Land of the Fae really is? It's all a big fairy tale, a single story, nothing more. This 14,000-year picture book Morgan wrote just to have somewhere to belong, even if it had to be fictional. And you people rejected it, just like you have all the others. You said it was wrong, that it was meaningless. I didn't like that, so much it even made me forget my disgust with everything. You make up characters who behave exactly as you want, put them in the kind of stories people dream about. Stories so good they change your very lives, and then you just laugh and dismiss them as nothing more than flights of fancy. So this is about stories, then? That's right. There's still meaning to be found, even the most hackneyed of kingdoms are the most unsung side characters. All the stories you people from reality just forget the moments you finish the last page. Had every bit as much right to remain afterwards as everyone else. Oh well, there's no point in telling you this, you're human. You'll forget all about this once the next story goes along. I don't know about that. I mean, the home server has a few more story chapters now, and this one's still considered the best of all of them, so clearly people don't forget that easily when they're good. Proper human history is all about growth and progress, right? Nothing's permanent. It'll just keep going forever. Me, I found all that stuff a huge pain in the ass. I was absolutely livid. That's why I wanted to end everything. There, happy? Now wake up already. You don't need a morning lock or even an evening one. Not yet, anyway. Anyway, see you later, asshole of Chaldea. This journey might have sucked, but at least it's full of surprises. Good luck with the next one. I'll pray for your success as hard as I can. Wait, where are you going? I'll come with you. Good friend of Oberon. Oh crap, I moved too quickly before I could read the second line. Uh. Ah! Oberon! Oberon Vortigern's fallen off the deck and plummeting to the hollow. His spirit core suffered serious damage. Vortigern, the Abyssal Worm, the Sacred Sword's a double-edged blade, both sustenance and poison. He won't crawl up here, not with an injury like that. He'll simply fall endlessly into a non-existent abyss, following this hole forever. That sounds... No, this is how it should be. Oh, it seems I won't be able to bask in our victory. It's already time for me to leave. Well, give my regards to your Merlin. It's only right, since I came here without asking. I will, thank you. No, thank you. It was good to hear your voice. I'm just glad I was able to be of help. This is the Stormboard command room. Do you read me, Master? We don't know how it happened, but we can at least see what's happening. We picked up a breakdown, no blockage in conceptual space. The Abyss is starting to lose connection with the outside world. We need to get out of here before we're completely closed or we'll be stuck falling forever. So I'm going to point the Stormboard straight up and try to fly us here at full speed. You both need to get inside the border right now. Hear that, Master? What should we do? Please don't worry about me. I've already said my goodbyes. The girl who traveled with you, Castoria. She existed only in this Lostbelt and returned to the planets in her sea along with the Shadow of Paradise. However, her actions and the answers she found has been inscribed upon me. I am not King Arthur. I am the concept of the wielder, the knight of the sacred sword given form. I only entrust the sacred sword to those who use it, to those it's chosen. So the special bonus is important contracted for all, so I could not break it. Alright, this was just a one-time thing. Indeed, just as you wished to help, so too did my other half. Other self. Now please hurry, you must not let yourselves get caught up in the Abyssal Worm's downfall. Farewell. Well, Master, Mash, tread on without fear, for the light of the stargazers of Chaldea shall always illuminate your path. Goodbye, precious friend of Britain. Bye, King Spirit. Senpai. Come on, let's go. Right. Okay, Captain. The Master and Mash are back inside. Pinch it! Alright, activate all 4 Tritons in parallel. I'll set a course out of this hollow. Let's go. Professor, how long before the exit collapses? Will we make it at the speed? Okay, looks like we have about 5 minutes before the abyss is completely sealed. Since the computer room's been shut down for 20 minutes, assuming the ship's been falling constantly during that period, we can do a calculation, so we've fallen about 420 kilometers. So if we can push the board to Mach 8.5, even account for acceleration and deceleration, we should have no trouble getting out in no time. Wait, just realized something. There's no point in calculating the distance we've fallen. The hole's infinite. Now that we're inside, there is no entrance or exit. We can't reach where we fell in, no matter how fast we fly. See, then we'll have to make our own exit. Captain, can the Stormboarder's cannons blast open the sides of this hole? We can't make an exit by flying upwards. Our only choice is to break down the hollow's very concept. It'll be risky, since there's no telling where we may emerge, but in 5 minutes' time, even that risk will no longer be an option. I'm sorry, but after that fighting, we don't have the power for that. Keeping the ship flying is the absolute best we can do. Even if we shut down one of the engines now, we wouldn't have nearly enough time to create a spiritual warhead. And we can't leave, all because there's no exit? I'm afraid so, and once the hollow is completely blocked off, we won't be able to go anywhere. Once this hollow loses connection, it'll be even more escapable than a black hole. Black hole is a massive gravity so dense even light cannot break through, but at least it still technically has an exit. Theoretically, one could make their way out if they could achieve faster than light travel, but there's simply no means of escaping this hollow. It's an inescapable of the space that no man-made transportation technology can leave, no matter how advanced. It's truly the epitome of a pitfall. Even as we are ascending, we continue to fall towards the abyss. Damn it, man, there's no time to be admiring. This is no time to be admiring it. Is there anything we could do? It's not as though we're under attack or the ship's about to explode. I'll be down if I'm gonna admit defeat just because there's a missing exit. Guys, I just picked up some kind of explosion 3,000 kilometers away. The hull's ripped open. I can see outside again. The thermic ray has to be Albion. Albion just fired off a mana burst. I don't know how she did it, but she just attacked the abyssal worm. She falls to the ground, her strength exhausted. The sky of the end times looms overhead. Still yearning for distant horizons, she continued to descend. Her intelligence and memories are gone. Everything that made her who she was had been shattered. All that remained now was the decaying corpse of a long-dead dragon. Falling star with no purpose nor desire, doomed to scatter upon impact. And yet she still felt the pain in her hollow chest. There was still something she desperately needed to remember. Searching, searching. In an instant, old sights flashed before her eyes and shattered forever. Each memory, sparks flew from her cells. It was as though they were telling her what she is, what she used to be, and why she'd flown around this place for so long. Morgan, Argest, Sith, Oral, Woodwoes, Percival, even the terrible Aurora. Ah, there, she saw it. Fairy Britain's destroyer, the one who brought it to its conclusion. Britain's white dragon. Possessed of the same name as her, it was finality given form, swallow up the entire world. Those she loved and called home. Ah, ah. She spread her broken wings and summoned her voice through her crushed throat. Her scales peeled away as she flies. Her flesh began to slow off, unable to handle the strain of reactivation. She knew this and she flew on anyway. That's right, I have to fly. Even if I never did anything honorable as a fairy, even if I never did anything honorable as a knight, even if I'm a freak of nature who was just imitating people all along. She wasn't a British fairy. A higher form of life, she was a perpetual outsider, neither fairy nor human. As the dragon who presides over the border, she was considered a part of proper human history even within a Lostbelt. As a life form from the outside, there had never been a place for her in this Britain. I'll never know the ground or peace. I'll never have what I truly want. All I have is the sight before me, border that separates the earth from heavens, the stars from space. And yet there's still something she'd gained, something that whether false or abandoned, she found for herself. She could remember nothing now, but the fact alone her memory circuits were blank proved those memories once had existed. It's by his name, the name it was given here. The wind resistance whittled her body down, every increased speed chipped away her dragon form a little more. She kept going, she would soon self-destruct, the few moments remaining to her had nearly passed. No weapon would behave like this, no living thing would do something so paradoxical. The dragon understood it was acting erratically, and yet it persisted. Objective, stop anyone aiding Britain's destruction. Reason unknown. Fire that shone in her eyes drove her to fly faster. My name is Melusune, Tamlin Melusune. Now fly, even if you're just an animated corpse, you must still fly. She tore through the air, soaring through destruction below, and flying straight at her enemy. And so the crumbling dragon, one of the beings who found Salvation Britain, landed her final roar. Ah, that sound, a vaguely irritating sound, jolts her senses. Several hours after Tamlin ran her through, she slowly opened her eyes, still sprawled on her back. It's so quiet, the riots must have died down. Of course they have. They were here for so long, they must have finally exhausted themselves. See, I told you all we do is wait. Someone always takes care of my problem if I'm patient enough. It's always been that way. Why should this be any different? She coughed a few times, her throat oddly parched. Then she smiled a gentle smile and began an elegant speech as she had many times before. There's no one to hear it. Everyone in the city was dead. All she received in response was visions of her past. Insect on the desk. You know that your one and only love is shining brighter than anyone else. You'd never think to improve yourself. The very notion of growth and effort's alien to you. And why shouldn't they be? You've been perfect from the moment you came into existence. You don't have to work like the Earth clan. You don't have to suffer injury like the Fang clan. You don't have to study like the Wing clan, serve like the Mirror clan. No, Wind clan's value lies solely in it existing in the first place. Oh, so you are Aurora, the very avatar of the value. You don't love anyone, but you also don't want anyone. All you need is ornaments to further adorn yourself. What a wonderful way to live. I think it's fabulous. In fact, I love it. But you're diminished whenever someone grows more popular than you. Of course, you never get your hands dirty. You have all the people who adore you for that. You did it, Londinium with Ansel. But if you're talking about Oberon, they both deserve what happened to them. I was very sad when I learned they were dead, but I suppose they must have done something to earn someone else's ire. I see, how wonderful. I must have just imagined. You sent them to the Western Human Ranch, knowing Gawain had a visit planned when they'd arrive. Must have dreamed that you assigned your most capable Fey horses to monitor and report to you. Sure, I didn't know Gawain would be going there that day. Was it wrong to have her meet the Child of Prophecy? Not at all. You helped me move up my plans and cleared away a few actors in the smoke. Anyway, I better get going. Have fun scheming with Spriggan. Oh, leaving so soon? What a shame. I thought you were going to tell me more fun stories today. You don't need me for that. You're already aware of almost everything that happens in Britain, right? Really, no one could compare with the Wing Clan when it comes to espionage. Your wing tidings. Easily manipulate information so easily, it's genuinely terrifying. Oh, but I will say this. Would you mind leaving Master and Castori alone? I'm gonna need both of them to defeat Morgan. Oh my, I'm so nervous, it almost makes me jealous of them. O'Brien told me my only goal was to remove Morgan from the throne, but can I truly trust you? You're not some nasty vermin that stuck in my Britain, are you? Of course not. Everything I do is for Britain's future. That's how I've been telling you all this. I truly believe you're the best suited to rule it. That said, you probably shouldn't trust me too much, no. Everything I say is a lie, after all. What do you mean by that? Everything you say is a lie. That would mean you're also lying when saying not trust you. That's just the kind of heroic spirit I am. I'm not hiding the truth or spreading falsehoods. I'm just everything that Oberon the Fairy King. It's just that everything that Oberon the Fairy King says becomes something that was never worth believing in the first place. It doesn't matter if I speak the truth or not. Once I say it, it becomes a lie. You and I are opposites in that regard, Aurora. Everything you say becomes true. No matter what dark feelings you harbor or how falsely you present yourself. The moment you say something, everyone, fairies, humans, even yourself, takes as the gospel truth. So silly, Oberon. I never know what you're talking about. Are you calling me a liar? As it takes out of no liar? Not at all. You're not even aware you're lying, right? You're both an aggressor and an innocent bystander. That's how you survived this long. The very idea you're Britain's most beautiful fairy is ridiculous. No, what you are is Britain's most innocent usurper. Ah, he really was adorable. I should have caught and killed him when I had the chance. To be the most beautiful fairy in Britain, to be the fairy who's shown Brodus of all. That was her only purpose. She spent every minute of 3,000 years being exactly that. Her lying and scheming weren't crimes. They were just the cost of being her. She had no concept of evil or good. She only knew of ways to keep shining. That said, there was one time, just one time she did something that wasn't solely for her own benefit. It was in the Lake District, in the era of the High Queen 1600, when she went to inspect the Mirror Clan's town along with her ladies-in-waiting. There she found a strange creature in the dark bog, a writhing mass of flesh, even fouler and more than its putrid surroundings. Oh my. It was all a calculated act, way for her to show off to her servants. Just imagine it, Britain's most beautiful fairy helping the most grotesque creature, a ploy to spread word about what a wonderful selfless fairy she must be to do something. My name's Aurora, what's yours? What she hadn't expected was for the mass of flesh to cradle in her arms to begin weeping like a person. She had never genuinely seen before tears so sad, so utterly genuine. Never before had she been so moved by her own actions rather than the envy she enjoyed creating. Honestly, I never wanted to touch that thing. I wanted to be like you, is what the mass of flesh said before transforming to a beautiful fairy. Though Aurora's youth was eternal, she still suffered from decline. Her wings had continued to lose their luster ever since the Air High Queen began. Her natural shine would grow dim without a steady supply of new and unusual delights. Yet that girl, she was stronger than anything, more beautiful than anyone. She never declined, even in the smallest way. She didn't need to be innocent, so she would never realize what the monster she was. You see, there she is right now. The synchro-summoned Dragon Albion. The dragon fairy soaring nobly through the sky. How irritating, how contemptible, how revolting. Aurora was stuck on the ground covered in dirt and grime, while the dragon fairy shone more beautifully than anyone. Foolish girl, if you... Dragon fairy returned to being no more than a mass of flesh. Aurora would never come to love the dragon. She was so certain she would never return its affection. She wanted nothing more than the dragon to suffer, continually despondent, never hearing that simple statement of genuine affection that she so craved. It was that longing and that despair that made the dragon the fairy she was. That's why it benefited the dragon to continue protecting Aurora at the source of her suffering. If it hadn't been her own benefit the dragon killed Aurora, it had been for Aurora's. That's right, I'm not afraid to die. What I fear most is losing my radiance, having my colors fade, and no longer being special. That's why... Dang, that was an incredibly toxic relationship they had. Even though the Dragon knew that doing so would turn her back into a hideous mass of flesh. She had still chosen to kill her. Aurora, the miracle that saved her, the one she loved more than anyone else in the world. What an utterly loathsome creature. Fine, I'm glad to finally be free of it. You see, Oberon, idiocy like that is the stuff of true innocence. She had only cradled that massive flesh to show off what a good person she was. It reflected her in her ugliness as clearly as the lake. Go away, go away. The creature born was truly beautiful. Aurora realized she'd done something good for the first time in her life, and smiled. Higher, higher, as high as you possibly can, gazing upward with childlike innocence as the dragon corpse scattered like dust in the wind. Aurora faded away and her radiance finally ended. She was truly horrible. There it is, there's the exit. Yes, I see it too, but why in the world did Albion do that? We can worry about that later. Da Vinci, what's our distance target? We're 800 kilometers from the rift. It's farther than it looks. We can totally make it, Captain. Everyone hold on to whatever you can. No, maximum power. Forget all the safety. Just get out of here. Aye, Captain, full speed ahead. I'll punch it all the way to the sun if I have to. Oberon was falling. He kept falling to the bottomless void along an endless shaft. He had no strength left to fly. No, actually. The wings on my back are just for show. I could never fly, stupid. He smiled a hateful smile. He was truly enjoying himself. He may have been defeated, but he still accomplished his goal. His only regret was that he hadn't been able to take Chaldea down with him. Go on, get out of here. It'll be a relief not to see your damn faces anymore. Further, further. The foreign mage, the other child of prophecy, the companions he spent his long journey with flew further and further into this distant sky. Then, after Oberon the Liar had finally hatefully seen them off, oh well, who cares? What matters is that I killed Britain, just as I wanted. Although, sorry Titania, my fictional queen, who loved me in all my twisted ways. I'm sorry I couldn't get rid of those proper human history bastards for you. One truth he could never tell anyone? Titania, one who's created for a single purpose, then discarded the moment been served. Sacrificial love of his life who could only exist within a story. Maybe he'd already met someone similar to her, but even if he had, Oberon the Liar would never be able to believe it. You know, it's weird. Even though I got the ever-lifting shit kicked out of me, I still feel strangely at peace. The hole in the abyss disappeared as he continued his endless fall. There. Usually he temporarily broke the fourth wall there to mock the narrator. So that's proper human history sky, huh? Damn, it's so beautiful, it makes me sick. The infinite hollow sealed itself as the abyssal worm fell on, a destination forever beyond his reach. The curtain falls. Prologue. The curtain falls. Approaching the mirror world, a plane in standard space, 40, 30, 20, shut off Triton's inches 2 through 4, gets back to normal speed. Here it comes, everyone, brace for impact. We're about to reach Britain's Lostbelt's, no, regular Britain's airspace. We made it. Senpai, look out the window. Come on, MASH, let's go. Attention all staff. The storm border successfully returned to British airspace. We're standing down from high alert. Please return all weaponry to the armory and resume your standard duties. First, I'm told Commander Gordoff would like to say a few words. The floor is yours, Commander. Right then. First off, I'd like to congratulate you on completing this extraordinarily long mission. The field team did exemplary work investigating this mysterious land, enlisting help from the local populace and preventing the world's collapse. And for 50 days, our staff remained vigilantly on standby in almost all total darkness while keeping the border shipshape. Thanks to all your efforts, Shiba is now back to normal parameters. This, of course, means the collapse that was predicted from Britain and the rest of the world has been completely averted. So I'm proud to announce that as of this moment, the operation of the British Lost Belt's concluded. Congratulations, hip hip hooray! Not the best you got, Chubby. You got how to brush my vocabulary. I was just saying what I felt. If you feel you can do better, try giving the next speech. Do you know how hard it is to be cool, collected, and eloquent on the spot? With a spotlight on you? The answer is pretty damn. Good grief, Da Vinci. No. Could you give me the mic again? Next, have some more mundane news. We're currently flying at low speed so we can run diagnostics on all our systems. I've put up the air around the deck, so for the next 20 minutes, those who wish to go out there may do so. Take a look. It might not be easy, but still important. Go make one last memory of Britain before we leave behind. Feels like forever since I saw the sky this color. 2 days, that's basically 2 months, dang. Although this fairy Britain's gone now. Yeah. Singularity's been repaired. But it still existed, just like all the other Lost Belts. Right, right. I learned so many valuable things in this journey. I'll treasure those memories forever. Hey, Master Mash! Da Vinci, you come one last look at Britain too? Sure did. After the time I spent traveling around, I figured I should say a final goodbye. Plus, I want to toast to Mike with this wine I got from the baker. So long, Mike. I bet you're doing great things with your pub right now. In fact, I know you are. Even if you're from a different world, it's been restored and pruned away. Even if it's no longer possible to deserve it now, this universe is deemed unnecessary. The planet still remembers everything that once existed on it. One of these days, I'm going to cross that border so I can pay you a visit, see how far you've come. That's a great idea, Da Vinci. Oh right, that's not the only reason I came here. You guys gotta come with me to my workshop now. The Spirit Origin graph just started glowing out of nowhere and I heard sound like meowing. Help me check the summoner, will you? There's no telling what might pop out from it. I see. Leave it to me, I'll handle whatever it throws at us. After the power-ups I got in Fairy Britain, I'm basically super Carelite now. Oh yeah, about that Mash. Yeah, what is it, Master? I'm afraid your Spirit Origin's back to normal. Right, she was getting home field advantage on top of getting King of Galahad's power back. That's okay, I knew that. I'll just save my disappointment for later. Never mind that. Let's head back to Da Vinci's workshop. I'm not sure why, but I'm excited about this. I'm sure we're about to meet someone wonderful. You sure about that? Well, okay, I guess I can trust Super Carelite's intuition. Alright, Britton, this is it. Thanks for introducing us to so many great people. Now, Con Master, we still got a long way to go. It's time we stopped reminiscing and went back to our own home. Yeah, goodbye, Britton. You know, this is kind of exciting. I wonder what sort of heroic spirit we're about to meet. Just makes us to catastrophe defragmentation halted. Transmutation to the automation. Great work on discovering and repairing the unexpected dead end. I really have to hand it to Calde. It only took them 23 hours and 58 minutes to prevent the collapse. I've got no time to celebrate. I need to get ready for the next dead end point. Let me look. Looks like the other potentially nasty incidents ahead are the amateur beast that flew off from Britain, and what could end up being the single largest singularity to date. As for Kodak's recovery, it doesn't seem there's any way to remove his serious light, so we'll have to give up on that. So the hieroglyph prediction is not a problem. Revolt, eyelid. I do not get it. In Arabic, please. Oh well, we'll just have to ignore it for now. More importantly, I think the next focus is on the big gal herself. I wonder what she's gonna do next. Huh. So that is what our future has in store. I cannot say it's unexpected, but that doesn't leave us as much time. I better hurry and make preparations. Chaldea has conquered 6 lost belts, and the foreign gods finally finished their studies by this point. So now, we each have only one single target left. This will no doubt be our last victory without casualties. And simply no way we can all make it out unscathed from what comes next, is there? I don't like that creepy smile. Then again, a lot of people have been suspecting San for a while. Cosmos denial. Some people even made... Ooh, level cap increased. Ooh, so she can become 90 now. Oh, and she's auto-grailed. Interesting. Bond limit level released. That's a lot of upgrades for MASH. Nice, nice, nice. I love it. Especially since she's 0 party cost, she can really help save room. Holy Grail. The class skill Fei Isaiah and Fei attribute has been added to Castoria Caster. The name of her unique skill sword selection has now been changed to Sacred Sword Creation. Skill effects, however, have not been changed. Yeah, basically, the original plan for Castoria was significantly different from what they end up doing with Lostbelt, and that's why a lot of the voice lines don't really add up. They've since made changes like this and to her voice lines to address it, but yeah. The unique name of Castoria and Morgan's unique skill Protection of the Lake has been changed to Avalon LaFay. Skill effects not changed. The name of Oberon's class skill unknown is Anti-Humanity D. This is my Castoria, of course. I think her profile also updated. I know she had some voice on stuff about meeting Foe with Merlin in the Tower in Avalon, when obviously that is not part of this the Lost Belt character's backstory. As after she became Guardian of Britain, Camelot and Twilight as a age is manifested. She became the Knights that bestows Knight of the Round Table gift upon those fighting alongside her. In game, these are identical to Round Calburn. She fulfilled the duties of Fairy Britain and vanished, offering her body the sacred sword and becoming the sword itself. She became a device whose purpose was to aid humanity in opposing the threat to the planet. Locester. Abatra. Spirit Origin release quest. Go ahead and collect Habitrot here then. So this is Chaldea. Huh. I heard it was a mage's workshop, so I was imagining it to be something more like a scary cave. But it's a clean, fancy even. I'm glad they're starting to give us servants for beating the Lost Belt again. Story again. I can see myself sticking around here a little while. Oh, my name is Habitrot. I'm a fairy, friend to brides everywhere, expert tailor, and bringer of happy endings. Well, that's who I am, but I feel like my noble phantasm's a bit off. You guys know why that is? You're a Habitrot. You can summon more from friend point summon. She's story locked, unfortunately, so you can't just unlock her freely. Spinster Habitrot. Increase in peace strength, ignoring damage, gain a large amount of sea stars, decrease. And the third skill for brides. Oh, excellent. I got her servant coins. Gloucester in 2020. If only she'd never seen the future. If only she'd never inherited the High Queen's duty. If only Paradise had given her a different mission. If only Fairy Branch she imagined her dreams had continued. Surely the many fairies would come to visit the dazzling fortress. It would have been filled with... Blinding sunlight and the laughter of good friends. There would have been many lives crossing paths on the street. She wouldn't be wearing anything fancy, but she would have worn a familiar star-shaped hairpin. This is what her spring memories might have been like. Even if the future never comes to pass, surely there would have been days like this. Well, that's it. Avalon the Fae and Lostbelt 7 will be implemented in a future update. But what's this? Seems something else might be amiss. But we shall be finding that out later. Look like anyone I usually rate is streaming right now, so I guess I'll just cut it here. Alright, well, that was the Fae Roundtable Domain, Avalon the Fae, the 6th Lost Belt. I'll definitely be streaming this game. I'll probably be streaming this again when the next story chapter comes out, but that's not going to be for a while, so for now, thank you for watching, hope you had a good time, and I'll see you later.